We've got to jump into news and headlines with Charlie Hermosa. So, yeah. Charlie, what's happening? What's the big stories today?
Nearly 200 jiu-jitsu athletes, family members, professors, and team representatives from Guam will travel to Aichi Budokan in Nagoya on March 14 to compete in the Marianas Pro Nagoya, the second premier event of the 2026 Marianas Pro Tour. In other news, federal officials on Thursday said actual deep-sea mining in waters east of Guam could be 5 to 10 years away, according to Acting Governor Joshua Tenorio, who hosted a federal delegation at Adelup while Governor Lulian Guerrero was on official off-island trip. Tenorio spoke with reporters after a 2-hour closed-door meeting with Department of Interior officials, including the team from its Bureau of Ocean Energy Mining and BOEM. Meanwhile, Humatic Mayor Johnny Canate is inviting everyone to drive down south for a weekend of festivities steeped in history and heritage, from cultural dance performances to food, arts and crafts and slingstone competition, a hike or paddle to a sacred site, and the reenactment of Portuguese explorer Fernand Magellan's March 1521 landing on Guam. This year's Guam History and Chamorro Heritage Day Festival will be from today, Friday, February 27th, to Monday, March 2nd. And those are your local headlines. Back to Ray.
Yeah. Apparently they used the big bad Josh Tenorio to meet with the BOEM people. Saying now, this is a quote from the press release that came out yesterday. Tough Tenorio. We are not interested in being guinea pigs out here.
No.
How dare you? Guam leadership tells visiting Department of Interior officials of opposition to accelerated undersea mining plans for the Marianas. Quote now, I told them we're opposed to and we're very concerned with these proposals to streamline the permitting process and that we're not interested in being guinea pigs out here and that matters of technology and environmental consequences are very high and very top of concern. On top of like beautification and homeless people and the hospital, just saying. But anyway, so we got a chance to meet with them. Guam will not be anybody's experiment is the other quote that we have. In the meantime, I guess one of the things that the guys from the Interior and BOEM came out with was we don't have any immediate plans. We're like 10 years away from all of this. Like, I think the way they said it was you will have your hospital built before we start undersea mining.
They're going to forget.
Wait a minute, hospital?
The attention span.
That's
is wrong,
telling you, hospital.
Yeah.
Hospital.
Well, the new hospital will be completed by the time they start with the undersea mining. 6:39 in the morning. And that just made everybody feel like, oh man, we got all excited for nothing. 10 years? Really? That far away?
Basically, you have no say.
Unbelievable. All right, 20 away from the top of the hour, and to grab a quick break here. By the way, the YouTube feed is on now, you guys. Sorry for the late start here this morning, but everything seems to be working at this time. How good is that? When we return, look at what's going on in traffic and any available idlets going to walk us through weekend weather. Stay there.
Feeling run down, stressed, or in need of a reset? Time to recharge. At Infusion Wellness, we help you recharge, recover, and feel your best with IV infusion nutrients. Our professional staff follow the highest safety standards, delivering vitamins and nutrients directly into your bloodstream for maximum absorption. Boost your energy, strengthen your immunity, and speed up recovery, tailored to your wellness routine. Call us at 671-647-0067 to book your free consultation.
Some things are worth the wait. Wendy's Golden Fried Shrimp is back, and it's the perfect Lenten meal. Crispy, golden shrimp made with quality ingredients. Served up as a warm sandwich or a healthy platter with rice and a fresh salad. It's a lighter, better option that still feels indulgent, but don't get too comfortable. It's only here for a limited time. Good decisions never tasted this good. Only at Wendy's.
Got it. 641 Ray Gibson Show portions brought to you by Kim and Ron and all the beautiful people at Security Title. Absolutely gorgeous start to a Friday morning, a gorgeous start to a weekend, and a gorgeous start to enjoying driving on Guam. How about that? Let me see if I can find some traffic for you. There's the map on the screen now, and it looks like now would be a good time to hit the road. It ain't going to hit back. Hardly anything happening. A little tiny bit of traffic up at Anderson Air Force Base. Southbound Marine Corps Drive looking good all the way through Dededo, and that's all of the intersections through Dededo. Micronesia Mall, absolutely clear. I don't think anybody's on the road yet. They were all apparently over at Charlie's place last night. night and sleeping it off now. Southbound from the Micronesia Mall, directly southbound, 8, 10, and 16. You shouldn't run into any problems. It looks like it's running clear over by Department of Rev and Tax and Tammy Post Office. Only a little bit of traffic over by the gas stations at the Tri-intersection. Southbound Marine Corps Drive is looking good through the hamburger places we got there, hamburger corridor, and then you move your way south through Harmon and the Industrial Park, Tamuning, Tumon, Upper Tumon, all of that stuff. Clear all the way into East Agania and into the downtown Agania area. Nothing major on the other central roads. 8 is looking good. 4 is looking really good. 10 and 15 is sweet right now. It doesn't look like anybody's headed for school this morning. Downtown Agania all the way to Big Navy and Sumai looking pretty sweet. And even when you get to the Naval Base Guam main gate, it's all right. There's only a little bit of traffic through there. So take the extra time, go find yourself a coffee bucket and enjoy your Friday drive.
Craving delicious dishes with local flavors? Look no further than Mezcla Bistro. From our juicy burgers to flavorful seafood and local fusion, every dish is made with love and the freshest ingredients. Join us for an unforgettable lunch, dinner, or decadent Sunday brunch. Visit us online at mezclaguam.com or call 671-479-2652 or 671-489-2653 to make a reservation. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro, a true taste of Guam.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that family vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,000 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña 475-4545 or Dededo 633-4473. Family Finance.
643 Ray Gibson Show, and we're that good here at selling cars. The guys over at Nissan gave me scripts last month about these incredible deals they've got on, where you buy a car and they'll take care of like the first 6 payments on that. And there were a whole bunch of cars on that list. Now it's shrunk down to just 3. The other cars have all been moved. Buyers looking at that great deal that they heard about on the Ray Gibson Show. Here's the deal. Now they will make the first 6 payments on Sentra, on a Frontier, Pathfinder, brand new cars, ladies and gentlemen, and maybe you got your eye on a Kicks or a Rogue or an Armada, and they will cover the first 3 payments on those vehicles. Look, terms and conditions apply. I don't know what the hell they are. I'm not in the car business. You go to NissanGuam.com and find out.
It's the Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
I gotta find it. Our friend Brittany Tollefson sent me a thing on Facebook, and it is the President's State of the Union address, but in anime.
Oh, nice.
They got like anime cartoon characters that did it. The internet crazy fast, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? 644, and I thought maybe I'd show you another picture from eastern side of the island, sunrise over at Jeff's Pirates Cove. And take a look at that. Here it's. I'm just kidding. That's not really
Those
a picture.
are elected leaders.
That's not the sunrise picture over at Pirates Cove. This is a rendition of some artwork I asked Grok to do yesterday because there was a story. I got to it fairly late. It was a story about a guy from Saipan at that economic conference, and he was trying to drum up business for the NMI, and he told everybody, he says, "Hey, come and buy an island." Because it's the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. It's not just Rototinian and Saipan. It's all of the other North Islands that you fly through, and they've got minerals and resources. And Pozalan was once upon a time kind of a big deal on one of the islands, and there might be something that is worth mining on the one that's got the volcano on it. So he's making a business. Come out and buy. And I thought, well, wait a second. If they don't get anybody to buy the island, from the economic summit, maybe Charlie, me, and you, and we'll hook up with a couple of other guys that got some dough. And we'll buy one of the islands, and it'll be like a man cave, except an island-sized man cave.
That,
yeah. So it's got pretty native girls, and we got farm animals, so we got something to eat later on, and we'd get drones to fly from there to Guam and get us beer and bring it up there.
There you go. I'm trying to look at the picture and see what's not real. Like what is not.
Oh, it's not. Yeah, it could. Yeah, Grok's getting pretty good. Grok is actually getting pretty good here. It's just another shot of what Ray Gibson's Boy Island could look like. The thing was, what's his name? The Neverland. Yeah, it'd be like from the
Willy Wonka.
No. But anyway, so
Michael Jackson.
That was my idea, Neverland Ranch. It's just a place for grown-up boys to go and just is unplugged from the planet and just never think about going back anywhere else again. Just we'll pay for the subscription for somebody to bring us some booze and hang out with farm animals and native girls on the beach. Actually, I do have some sunrise pictures. I do have some pictures of sunrise over at Pirates Cove, sans the drunk old white guys. It's 6:47 in the morning, and that's what it looked like as the sun was making its way up on the eastern side. Thank you very much for the pictures, Jeff. It's always good seeing you last night. 6:47 in the morning. We'll get an available idlet here on the phone. But another piece of news is economic news. I'm gonna do a little bit of economic news at this time. Would you like me to go over Guam's credit rating or how much the Tooth Fairy is paying these days?
Tooth Fairy
story it is. All right, got it. The Tooth Fairy is paying. This is from Axio, so you know it's at least halfway true. The Tooth Fairy is paying an average of $5.84 per tooth this year. Brushing,
that's cheap.
My God. Okay, here's the pun. Brushing off 2 years of decline. That's up 17% from last year, per the survey of 1,000 parents of kids aged 6 to 12. The average payout has soared from $1.30 since the survey began in 1998. $1.30? Got to be kidding. Charlie, what were the numbers when you were kids? What kind of money did your folks give you?
I think we were quarters and dollars, I think. That's where we were at. No, there was dollars.
You were poor.
We got food stamps.
Dirt poor.
Yeah. No, we $1 at least.
$1, right? Just look under the pillow, and there's some kind of folding money down there. Real Joe, what was the last amount of money you gave to Ruckus when he lost a tooth?
Oh God, like $25.
Right?
Yeah. Plus 20 on Robux.
Was he like, that's it? Just 25?
There's no sense of scale anymore, is there? You just, you feel like you're going to give the kid some money. It's going to give him some real money, something they can, go to town with. All right, here, kid, here's a 20. Have a good time. You know what? You give the girl a 20 and buy her a nice drink, at the Mama San place. Where was I? 6:49 in the morning. I'll save this story then for a little bit later on. Apparently, our general obligation debt rating has been raised a notch to BB on operating performance. Our outlook is positive. To which I yes. I'm the guy. The money burns a hole in my pocket. As soon as I got a decent bump up in my credit rating, I immediately started applying for every credit card I could get my hands on. I have no money whatsoever. I got a ton of credit, but absolutely no cash whatsoever because I'm trying to take advantage of the offers while my credit score is where it is, because it could go backwards any day.
Even they're saying we're collecting too much money. Even they're saying that we're healthy.
Right? Yes. Yeah. That's the way we need to look at this. In 10 minutes, it'll be 7 o'clock in the morning. I'll go over the details on that story here in just a little bit. In the meantime, do I have any available idlet on the line?
The strong one.
The strong one, built for torque, not speed. We're talking about Landon idlet of the Typhoon Twins here, joining me this morning. And we don't zoom around here, but I do have a recent picture that was taken of Landon idlet that I can put up on the screen while we're going over the details for the weekend weather. Good morning, Landon. How you doing?
Yeah, good morning. Is that my new do?
I love it. I love it. There's a Star Trek character out there, isn't there?
You know what was so offensive about that photo was somebody said, what are you, Spock from Star Wars?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking at. That's all you need to do is we got to change that. I might do that. I might send that to Gemini and have him change your shirt into a Star Trek uniform and put pointed ears on you.
I want to have Joe standing right next to me with his hair done too, so make sure you take care of that.
I'll see what magic the AI can do for us a little bit later on. 10 away from the top of the hour. Let me switch that and go to some satellite imagery, radar imagery first. Give folks an idea of just how gorgeous it is outside. Like right now, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful out there. That shear line did drop down south, all the heavy showers and thunderstorms a couple mornings ago. That's well away from my area, and it's much drier weather pattern. We've been watching the water vapor satellite imagery is just showing the plume of much drier air across the region. There's a little bit of increasing moisture dropping in from the northwest. It's going to get us a little bit more humid the next several days, but otherwise it's going to be mostly dry coming through the weekend. We could have a little batch of scattered showers coming through with a weak surface trough, but otherwise the weekend looks pretty good out there weather-wise.
Looking good down in Palau as well. I mean, if you want to do some traveling, fly down to Palau right now and take a look. They're in about the same thing that we've got. I mean, there's some clouds in the area, but for all intents and purposes, they're in the clear right now.
Yeah, they're in the clear right now. There's a near equatorial trough. That's a surface trough that kind of goes more east to west, and it's typically just north of the equator this time of the year. That's going to be meandering near and south of Palau. So there's some showers south of Palau and also close to across the Yap State. So you do have to fly through that. Maybe a little bit of turbulence if you like turbulence. But otherwise, it's going to feel much more like dry season across the Mariana Islands. But it's still going to be breezy out there the next several days. So we still have the strong trades surging across the region. It's going to be breezy into Saturday night. And in response, the seas and surf are still up there. So we're looking at the Ipan buoy. We're still seeing combined seas upwards of around 10 or 11 feet in the buoy.
That's a big deal.
So we do have a small craft advisory in effect, a high surf advisory in effect in north and southeast, but that high surf warning, that infrequently issued bulletin for dangerous surf, that's still in effect for East Facing reefs. I posted some video from Tagacheng Beach the other day, and it is chunky out there. You just do not want to be in the water. So for those who insist on being in the water, where is it safe to go in the water? You want to stick to Tumon Bay, and ideally look for a lifeguard. If there's a lifeguard on the beach and they are watching people, that's where you want to be. Avoid going in the waters where it's not being observed by a lifeguard, somebody that can assist if there's problems. Otherwise, just stay out of the water. Go to my big music festival the next several days.
Yeah. Stay close to shore. I mean, listen. The only reason why I go in the water when I'm in Tumon is to go pee. So just don't go out any further than you would if you were just dipping into the water to quote bathe. So keep track of all of that stuff. Lots going on this weekend, and so I'm hoping that we will be able to maintain all these clear skies through Monday. There's so much going on. All roads, according to Haiti Eugene Gilbert at PDN, all roads lead to Umatic this weekend for Guam History, Chamorro Heritage Day Festival, and the thing starts today and will go clear into next week. So hopefully the weather gods are going to be following us around and making sure that we're under sunny skies and just enough sunshine to need an umbrella just in case. Otherwise, looking in the different directions, I'm telling you that we got great weather in the Philippines right now. If you got plans for that over the weekend, maybe checking out Philippine Airlines that jump out to Cebu today would be a good day to get out there because it's absolutely sweet. And then moving across the Pacific towards the United States mainland, where the weather is not as sweet, and even up in Alaska, Sandra Regis reporting minus 27 degrees out there. So while it's gorgeous here, there are some spots where I'm sure people are just tired of the snow and the ice and the cold.
And if they're tired of the snow and ice and cold, I know just the place to go to take care of that fix. And it's just a short hop from the States. But yeah, it's definitely some winter continues to rage across many parts of the States, especially Hawaii, Alaska. So it is some choppy weather out there with the winter weather conditions still ongoing. The groundhog was spot on with his prediction on February 2nd. And so the people in the States are really dealing with it. But beautiful weather here. It's going to really feel like dry season finally, at least for the next several days.
Gotcha. Landon, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. Just want to get a sense of what the weekend weather was going to be like and have an excuse to put this image up on the screen for our viewers and our listeners.
Yeah.
Just imagine. So do you know if your brother's doing the half marathon tomorrow?
I do not know. I'm probably assuming he will, but I'll see if I can
Did you know you had a brother?
Slip him some Dramamine and maybe he'll sleep in late.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm not probably going to. In fact, I know I'm not going to be running the half marathon tomorrow. The coffee place down in Tamuning is going to have a little bit of a 5K, and that sounds like a whole lot of fun. And so I might do a little bit of running, go down there, do a little bit more with the gym people. They're like you. They're gym people. They got big arms and they've got the what do you call it? The gym shorts, all of that.
Fight or flight. We're here to fight. We're not to run.
There we go. There we go. I'll talk to you pretty soon. You have a great day. 9:56 in the morning. Landon Islet from the National Weather Service. And yeah, I will be doing some grokky stuff with that one as well. Like I said, general obligation bond debt rating has been raised a notch to BB based on our operating performance. S&P Global Ratings raised its long-term rating on Guam's GO debt from BB to BB from BB minus. Its rating on GovGuam's business privilege tax and Section 30 revenue bonds to BB plus from BB, and its rating on GovGuam's appropriations backed certificates from BB minus. To BB minus from B plus. The outlook is positive. Says the upgrade reflects our view of GovGuam's continued positive operating performance. Whoop, whoop. As in unexpected additional revenue from withholding taxes and business privilege taxes.
Noses and pinkies up.
This is it. So everybody over at the chamber, yet again, an indication that even though we've gone from 5% BPT down to the 4.5% BPT, it is not affecting the government of Guam's ability to rake in more money from the taxpayers on a going basis. Not only did it not hurt them, it's actually improved our credit rating.
And that's one of the concerns that they had.
We're going to take a hit on.
Yes, exactly.
Unbelievable. All right, the upgrade, like I said, resulting in continued strengthening of its overall credit profile, which we believe helps, to a degree, balance against a comparatively elevated debt and liability profile and an inherently vulnerable economic base susceptible to shifts in federal spending priorities, tourism activities, and adverse climate impacts and events. The positive outlook reflects the 1 in 3 chance of a rating upgrade within the outlook period, dependent in part on GovGuam's ability to consistently achieve and maintain a structurally balanced budget over the long run. So there we go. I wonder what Chris Duenas has got to say about this news. I wonder, though, who in the government of Guam might be running around right about now going, let's take that credit rating out for a spin. Who over at Gita is looking at that like a shiny new titanium Apple card or the new mirror finish American Express Platinum card, maybe something like that. Let's take this thing out for a ride. Come on, we haven't mortgaged our children's future off in what, a couple of years since we've taken out some big. You know what you could do? You know what you could do with the rating like this? We could build a new hospital. We could go and build a new hospital right down the street. There it is, Tamuring, at the end of St. Anthony Road, right on just past the Tulip Circle that we've got there with the Archbishop, the good one, in the middle of the circle.
We know some banks where we can get some money, right? We know some banks where we can get some money.
So
some
loans, we get the money. I know a bank we could put
hospital.
We could put the money in a certain bank, and let them hold on to it, and make some interest earnings on it. I'm just saying, it's happy days are here again. Maybe we can go and get some stuff done. Go out and get another general obligation. You know who wants to borrow? There's some of the folks down in Tumon. They want another one of those. They want another hot bond down there, so that we can rehabilitate and put some shine in the Happy Landing Road area and Baldiga's Place area and the Dusit area. Maybe all the way from Gotnya to Epau Beach. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, 7 o'clock in the morning. You're darn close to it. 888-825-5888-TAOK is the phone number. Use the Me Machine if you need to. Leave messages for me on the Facebook side and the YouTube side. And I'll see if you got some stuff that will translate into me talking about it on the radio. It's time for Fox News on Pika's Best. We are KUSG. Haganya. Be right back.
Deposition denials. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton giving closed-door testimony to the House Oversight's Jeffrey Epstein probe, telling lawmakers she doesn't recall ever encountering Epstein and knew nothing about his and Ghislaine Maxwell's crimes. Democrats say focusing on the Clintons is a distraction.
Now, Bill Clinton appears tomorrow. He met and traveled with Jeffrey Epstein, but Democrats have an ulterior motive with bringing in President Clinton. They think that if they bring in President Clinton, that will help establish a precedent, maybe to bring in President Trump if they win control of the House after the midterms.
Fox's Chad Pergram in Chappaqua, New York, where the Clintons live and where the depositions are happening at a performing arts center. The committee's ranking Democrat accuses the Justice Department of withholding Epstein files that show allegations against President Trump. The Justice Department has denied a cover-up. A mixture of optimism and tension after a third round of indirect nuclear talks between the U.S. and Iran.
According to Oman's foreign minister, the man who was mediating these indirect conversations today in Geneva, Switzerland, there was significant progress made, and technical details, according to the foreign minister, are going to be discussed next week in Austria. We have heard this cautious optimism before, and that's why you see this massive military buildup across the region. And here in Israel, officials preparing for the possibility that war erupts in the days ahead.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. The U.S. military buildup in the region includes F-22 fighter jets based in Israel for the first time. The State Department still gathering information about the deadly incident off Cuba's coast yesterday. Cuban officials say the 4 people shot and killed and 6 wounded in a speedboat were armed Cubans living in the U.S. who had a terrorist plot to infiltrate the island. A mixed finish on Wall Street. The Dow up 17 at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
For all your real estate needs, call the professionals at Hoffaday Realty. Jody, Saran, Libby, and Lolita, and they'll take care of you on every step of the real estate process. No worries. Just contact Hoffaday Realty at 588-4232 or 588-HOFFA or email them at hoffadayrealty@gmail.com. They're at 426 Chell in San Antonio, Suite 204 in Tamuning. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4. Hoffaday Realty for all your real estate needs.
Start your new year right with Subway's Fresh Fit collection. Built to fuel your day with better-for-you sandwiches. Each new Fresh Fit sub is packed with protein, stacked with a full serving of veggies, and under 500 calories. For a satisfying meal that won't weigh you down, try the ham and turkey stacker, clocking in at only 290 calories. Enjoy the light and filling turkey and ranch delight. Indulge in the craveable grilled chicken and avocado. Sink your teeth in the flavorful seasoned steak and avocado. Or go low carb. Turn any footlong Fresh Fit into a protein bowl. At Subway, eat fresh, feel good.
Reassurance from a Homeland Security official to states that immigration officials will not be stationed at polls for the midterms.
Democrats had raised the idea that immigration agents may conduct enforcement operations at or near polling locations this November, but Arizona's Secretary of State confirmed Homeland Security's Deputy Assistant Secretary for Election Integrity said that would not be happening. Democrats on the call also had questions about cuts to election security funding and the government's effort to stop illegal aliens from voting, concerns the White House has dismissed, noting no disruptions to recent elections in which Democrats have fared well. The Justice Department has sued 24 states and D.C. for their voter rolls. 3 judges in California, Oregon, and Michigan have dismissed the suits in part on the grounds that DOJ was demanding personal voter information. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Meantime, a ruling against the IRS involving ICE. A federal judge saying today that the IRS broke the law by sharing thousands of taxpayers' addresses with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, violating privacy rules. Waymo's robo-taxis may be heading to Chicago.
Waymo's trying to establish a foothold in the Midwest, laying the early groundwork for operations in Chicago. They're starting with mapping and manual vehicle testing, but no word on when the driverless vehicles will roll out. This could be a big test for Waymo because of the city's harsh winters and complex traffic. Waymo has had issues over the past year with driving around stop school buses in both Georgia and Texas. The company said it updated its software to prevent that. And a California child was recently hit by a Waymo when the kid emerged from behind a parked vehicle. The child wasn't seriously hurt. Jill Nato, Fox News.
Recapping stocks, the Dow ending in the green, up just 17 points, but that's after a sell-off during the session. The S&P, though, still ends down 37 points. The NASDAQ dropping 273. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Bundle smarter, work better. When you're running a business, every decision counts. Now's your chance to make one that gives you more. For a limited time, get hybrid fiber internet up to 1 gig for as low as $125 a month. Plus, get up to 6 months of free internet and free Samsung Galaxy earbuds when you bundle with Docomo Pacific. Ready to get started? Try our free bundles calculator by visiting info.docomopacific.com/radio25. While supplies last, some conditions apply.
Start your day with KFC's $5 breakfast deals. Choose the AM loaded platter, AM chicken rice bowl, or AM sausage, biscuit, and gravy. And now, enjoy a cup of premium Lavazza coffee from Italy with every meal. Head to your favorite KFC for our $5 breakfast deals and enjoy a taste of Italy with every sip. Breakfast is served from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. daily. KFC. Finger-licking good mornings just got better.
Welcome back to Nissan Guam. to decide which you want Nissan Guam to make. 3 months or 6 months of your car payments on your next new Nissan vehicle.
Both offers sound so good. Let's see. I'm going for the 6 months.
Great choice! And you too can get your own deal of the year. See Nissan Guam first today.
Some things are worth the wait. Wendy's golden fried shrimp is back, and it's the perfect Lenten meal. Crispy golden shrimp made with quality ingredients. Served up as a warm sandwich or a healthy platter with rice and a fresh salad. It's a lighter, better option that still feels indulgent, but don't get too comfortable. It's only here for a limited time. Good decisions never tasted this good. Only at Wendy's.
Get double the speed at zero extra cost with GTA Fiber. Experience super fast and reliable fiber internet speeds, now starting at 200 Mbps to 1 gig, with upload speeds just as fast as download speeds and 100 times faster than cable internet. You can enjoy lag-free gaming and clear video calls. Fast is also affordable. Sign up for Fiber 200 for only $70 a month. Visit gta.net or call 644-4482. Terms and conditions apply.
News this hour is brought to you by AB Risk Solutions.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. It's 7:07. I'm Charlie Hermosa with a look at your local news on The Point. Nearly 36 administrative claims have been filed on behalf of Jigo residents against the Guam Waterworks Authority and Guam Environmental Protection Agency over the Dildren issue that has affected the village, according to the release from Camacho Titano law firm that has been filing the claims for the families. The firm will host a free community workshop on March 2nd at 2 p.m. at Our Lady of Lourdes Social Hall in Jigo to teach residents about the Dildren contamination in drinking water and walk families through the claim filing process. In other news, the Guam Visitors Bureau officials on Thursday said GVB will be taking over the maintenance of the most frequented public restrooms by tourists and residents across Guam, currently under the purview of the Department of Parks and Recreation. GVB has a request for proposals ready, but the Tourism Board deferred voting on it after about a half an hour discussion. They wanted a clearer picture of the cost and scope of work, among other things. Meanwhile, DPR Parks Administrator John Titagui has advised that his agency would remove the parks under GVB's consideration from DPR's public restroom maintenance contract, which he said is still sitting with the General Service Agency. More news after this.
Boss, I got run over by a forklift.
Boss, I crashed a company truck.
What do we do? Our warehouse and inventory are gone.
Hi, this is Dave Silva from AB Risk Solutions, and it's time for Risk 101. Everything you just heard are examples of risk your businesses can face. Our job is to ask the hard what-if questions and teach you how to reduce your exposures and help you recover if things go sideways. We've got decades of experience in Micronesia working with businesses big and small. Call AB Risk Solutions today at 777-2668 for a free inspection and quote.
AB Risk Solutions, formerly known as Aon.
Employers must display new signage for pregnant workers within 90 days now that the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act rules and regulations was signed into law, the Guam Department of Labor said. The full enforcement of the requirements commenced May 28th, the department said in a media release. Public Law 38-93, signed by Governor Lulian Guerrero on February 10th, requires employers with 15 or more employees to provide reasonable accommodations for pregnancy, childbirth, and related medical conditions unless it would cause undue hardship. Meanwhile, a months-long drug trafficking investigation led to the arrest of 3 individuals, including Cain Dazon Hustejana, and the seizure of some 265.4 grams of meth, illegal guns, and cash based on the magistrate complaints filed in Superior Court and information from the Guam Police Department. The main suspect, who is also known as Cain Hustejana, 49, is accused of shipping meth from the U.S. through the mail, selling drugs, and illegal firearms possession, court documents stated. And those are your top stories right here on The Point. Now here's Ray with your weather.
We did a lot of weather already with Landon just a few minutes ago. It's going to be a gorgeous day. That's what the only thing that we need to report is mostly sunny today, mostly sunny tomorrow. A lot of breezes. Careful on the waters. Don't go out beyond the reef if you don't have to. I wouldn't go any further than about 10 or 20 feet anyway, just to get yourself wet and then go back on the beach and enjoy the beers and the bikinis, et cetera, et cetera. So that maybe it's as far into the ocean that you need to get. And just be aware that there are some breezes and some of this stuff in your neighbor's house might accidentally blow over into your place. So we got that on the screen right now. I got an image here from the folks, Alicia Duenas Anderson, down First Beach. Another great sunrise, another great start to the weekend from down there. And that's, I think, the only image that you need to have in your head as we go through it'd never turn your back on a Guam sunrise or a sunset. I mean, it's just gorgeous doesn't seem to be a strong enough word. Now, going back to Landon Idlet from the National Weather Service, I was able to convince Grok that there were a few things that it needed to do in order to bring us maximum enjoyment here this morning. There is a new picture floating around of Landon Idlet from the National Weather Service, and he is like Jerry Roberts and Joe Cruz, follically challenged.
What?
But he's added now a wig to his picture. That's what he's looking like.
Nice.
And it occurred to me as I'm looking at that picture, that looks like he should be in Star Trek. And so I asked Grok to make him a Star Trek character. And there he is. We changed out the images on his monitors so they're like nerdy, Star Trek fanboy images. And he's got a phaser in his hand. He's got the Star Trek shirt on and pointy ears. Now, my buddy Renee Lau sent me some pictures that he took of Landon recently over at the Micronesia Mall. And there's a picture of Landon standing in front of the Coco Express, in the train station that they've got out there. And he looks like he's all ready for travel. But travel, not in this universe. We're sending him to another where no man has gone before. Landon Idlet, ladies and gentlemen, on the transporter pod of the Star Trek Enterprise. That's the old uniform. That's the 1960s uniform. Grok is also aware that there's different eras in the Star Trek universe, and so there's a picture of Landon, likewise, in the updated and modernized transporter pod in the updated and modernized Star Trek uniform. Way to go, nerds! Good to see you there. 7:12 in the morning. It is amazing what the artificial intelligence is able to do anymore with anything, and that's why they put out a notice here to be cautious of deep fakes. This isn't the real Landon Idlet. Believe it or not, that's not him on the set of Star Trek. So the guys over at Homeland Security, Civil Defense, etc., Jenna Blas has sent out a press release to be cautious of AI-generated deep fakes.
Good morning, Jenna.
Tell you stuff to look for, and I will share that with you before too much longer. As usual, you know that I've got a fascination for AI. One of these days, I'll find a practical application for it. I don't know when the hell that's going to be, but one of these days I will. I'm going to give Jerry Roberts a second to catch his breath. We'll get into I don't want to say the last extra point because I don't know what his plans are for next week, but another extra point after these.
Kim Anderson from Security Title here, sharing an important tip about how you own your property. Do you know that there are several ways to hold title? You can be a sole owner, hold title as community property with your spouse, as joint tenants with rights of survivorship as tenants in common, or even through a trust or LLC. Each option impacts inheritance, control, and how your property can be transferred in the future. Your family attorney can help you determine what's best to avoid legal issues and protect your investment. And when you're ready to record, call the professionals at Security Title. We are here to help.
Guam Regional Medical City proudly welcomes endocrinologist Dr. Joel Mark Rubio. Now seeing patients, Dr. Rubio provides specialized care for diabetes, thyroid conditions, hormone disorders, bone and weight concerns, and metabolic care in pregnancy, helping patients manage their health at every stage of life. As GRMC, we're growing our specialty service to make expert care more accessible for our island. Ask your doctor for a referral to GRMC Endocrinology. Call 633-GRMC or visit grmc.gu to learn more. GRMC, expanding expert care close to home. 7:15 Ray Gibson Show portions brought to you by APL American President Lines, a global presence with a local home. And the guys over at Subway, they've created the Fit Fresh menu. They got a bunch of sandwiches that they know you already like, and then they tweaked up the ingredients a little bit, percentage more of this and percentage less of that. And so heavy on the protein, heavy on the flavor, but not heavy on the calories. You're going to love the prices, too. Check it out today, the Fit Fresh menu at Subway.
The Coconut Wireless is back. The Ray Gibson Show.
Better believe it.
Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
7:15, it's the Ray Gibson Show, and I want to say thanks very much for Jerry Roberts coming out and entertaining a whole bunch of people. Just a packed, bloated ballroom at the Dusitani yesterday for Live and Lead. Now, I've obviously known about the program for years, but have never had the opportunity to actually go behind the doors of Live and Lead.
We had a Ray Gibson sighting yesterday.
I just wow. From start to finish, when the second I got in there, the thing was laid out, the sound was good, the big video screen that everybody could. I mean, it was, and it just there was no bad seat in the house for anybody. And one of the cool things is, I had to table all of our folks from Choice Broadcasting there, but they also, I'm looking at the other tables, and everybody is writing furiously and taking screenshots of what was on the screen on the PowerPoints. Everybody was loaded for bear, and my guess is everybody is going away with the handouts, and they're going away with the show notes, and I bet a whole bunch of people downloaded the first 3 chapters of Victoria's book, and then have a new fondness for a particular baseball team out in the world.
The Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, Savannah Bananas. Yeah, that's something else. What a thing. So like I said, my marketing people showed up at the thing yesterday, and everybody took copious notes. What did they do with those now, Jer? What do you advice to give for all of the managers that send employees to Live and Lead?
First of all,
Live to Lead.
Take a look at the notes if you have handwriting like mine. And make sure you can read them. And you want to do that within 24 hours if you can, because that's about the cutoff, and then you'll stop realizing and understanding what's there.
This is good advice for any conference, by the way.
Pretty much, yeah. And then pick a time where your team can sit together. The ones that came, get them all on the same table or the same room together. Throw a little food out, and let them start throwing the ideas around of what they thought was important. For any conference, not just Live to Lead, any conference, any training they get. Put them in a room, let them throw things against the wall and see what sticks, and then create new ideas from the ideas that you got there at that training or the conference.
If I could just add to that, to embellish, I don't do it every time, but after trainings and things like that I've got with my marketing people, I ask a question: what will you start doing?
That's it.
Based on what you learned at Live to Lead, what will you start doing? And also, as important, what will you stop doing based on what you've learned at Live to Lead? You got notes, you got a whole day's worth of ideas, and you set everybody up. And I like the way the break protocol went, where, okay, we're going to take a break, go to the bathroom, go potty, go get yourself some new coffee or water or snacks or something like that, and then get to the table and let's talk about what we just saw.
Right.
What are your takeaways there from the last couple of presentations? I thought that was good too, because that reinforces on the spot what they just heard.
And it begins the action process. It's all about action and intent. So as you say, the thing you do, what are you going to do, or what are you not going to do? It's a great start. So, I mean, some action has to take place from this. That's why you gather them again and decide, okay, where are we going with this? What are we going to do first and then second? And then after that, the natural process takes place, and you see where it goes from there.
There's one, the Savannah Banana one that unfortunately I got into late because you started it while I was still doing the radio show. The thing that stayed with me, and everybody at the table, including the folks from GRMC that had joined us for a little bit, the thing that stayed with us was swing hard in case you hit the ball. Yeah, it goes along with the Ray Gibson theory of spike the ball every chance you get. 7:19 in the morning, and it's time for Jerry Roberts and the Extra Point, being brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank. Jerry?
Thank you, Ray. In today's dynamic work environment, the effectiveness of an organization often hinges less on individual talent and more on the systems in place. Yesterday, Live to Lead speaker Craig Groeschel said that a good worker placed in a poor system is likely to regress, while a bad worker in a well-designed system can become more productive. This was one of dozens of aha moments at this year's event, and we're going to chew this particular one over next on The Extra Point.
Travel goals unlocked. Whether it's Korea in the summer or Japan in the fall, the United Credit Card from First Hawaiian Bank can help you turn your urge to explore into your next boarding pass. Apply by October 31st, 2025, and if approved, earn 45,000 bonus miles when you spend $2,000 within the first 3 months after account opening. Unlock your next adventure with the First Hawaiian Bank United Credit Card. It all starts with yes. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit one of our branches or go to fhb.com/United.
So question, how significant is the role of systems in driving organizational success? Craig Groeschel says it's critical. How about you? First, what are we talking about when we say systems? Well, here's some examples. Performance management, system. Project management, system. Customer relationship management, system. Training and development, system. Quality control, system. Health and safety, system. And the list goes on. Systems provide a framework in which employees operate. A well-structured system encompasses clear processes, defined roles, effective communication channels, and supportive tools. When employees understand their responsibilities and have access to resources designed to enhance their productivity, they can focus on delivering results rather than navigating internal chaos. This is where Groeschel was going. Conversely, when a skilled worker is situated within a flawed system characterized by lack of clarity, inefficiency, or poor support, they can become frustrated and demotivated. What we need is to take a long, hard look at the systems we use in our organization, analyze them, and don't hold back. Now, let's be straight. We have operations in Guam that have done the same things in the same ways since they opened their doors 10, 20, 30 years ago, and maybe more. This is true in the private sector as well as government. So how do we take underperforming systems and make them better? Effective systems often include training, mentorship, and feedback mechanisms that promote continuous improvement. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to trash all of the systems you've had since forever. Maybe some just need a tweak, maybe two. The differences highlighted by Groeschel underscore the importance of leaders recognizing the role of systems. It is not merely about hiring top talent. Organizational leaders must also invest in creating and maintaining robust systems. This includes regularly reassessing processes and ensuring that the tools you rely on still make sense with current goals. Good systems amplify talent and multiplies results. The right systems empower both individuals and teams to reach their full potential, leading to sustained productivity and engagement. Finally, if you have good systems where workers can process and find job satisfaction, the likes of which they haven't had before, then isn't it a good reason that they'll stay on your payroll longer? Well, I think it is. And Groeschel said this, and this is one of the aha moments for me. He says, you get systems by intent or you get systems by default. My eyebrows rolled up when he said that, because if you do nothing, you're going to get default and what you always got, right? And you have to have intent when it comes to designing and developing systems for your particular enterprise. That's the extra point. Be responsible and make something good happen today. For 93.3 FM, The Ray Gibson Show, and for First Hawaiian Bank, I'm Jerry Roberts.
And don't be shy about letting your people come up with the system.
Absolutely.
Because there's a really, really good chance that they will figure out a better way than the way you've been doing it for the last 20 years.
That's right.
In your career. Now, we've got to work out a system here, Mr. Jerry Roberts, in the last couple of weeks since you've been knocking around this zip code here, people have gotten used to and have enjoyed hearing the extra point again on the Ray Gibson Show.
Yes,
so
sir.
you and I are going to have to develop a system that will allow you from whatever zip code you are going to be going to be able to give us a shot of Jerry Roberts from time to time.
I have the intent.
We have the intent
to do that, so
Yes.
we don't get the default of distance between our two zip codes. as you
So,
say.
I mean, something as simple as a phone call. We do have some video conference capabilities built into the visual system, and maybe one of these days we'll do a couple of practice runs and see how we can do all of this stuff.
Yes, sir.
I think you've renewed everybody's appreciation for the extra point.
I appreciate the platform, sir.
When are we going to do another Live to Lead?
Live to Lead probably next February, could be earlier. I don't know who the speakers are going to be, both nationally or globally or locally yet. I have some ideas of who I want to invite. Can I just say something else about the speaker? When you plan something like this and you decide who the local speakers are going to be, I had not seen any of them, except for Frank Camacho, talk in public. I didn't know what kind of speakers, I didn't know what kind of stories they would tell. I didn't know anything. But I knew their reputations and what they were involved with and how many people they led and their histories, etc. Jessica told a story yesterday that just blew people away about problems that she had that got worse and worse and worse. And it involved excavators, 3 of them. And I'm not going to give the whole story. It takes too long. But the other one excavator had to bail out another excavator. This thing, and it ended up being that she had an unseen underground river that she was dealing with. She said underground, unseen river, and my top of my head exploded. It was this. I said, man, what unseen rivers do I have right now? I mean, that are waiting on me, right? And you think about that. I mean, she just laid that thing out there. Frank, the crank, talked about his growth from UFC into Blades by Crank, right, and sharpening services. And he said the basics. He kept going back to the fundamentals, and when he did, that it was his safety net. The platform he could rebuild. He had to keep every loss he had, every challenge he had. He went back to fundamentals. That's something we can learn from. And then Dr. Bo Wheeler came on, and he began to talk about structure. And I'm trying to piece this together with the things that Maxwell did and Jesse Cole and all the rest. And then we got into what Groschel said about systems. And then we got, with Frank and with Jessica and then with Dr. Bo, and he talked about structure. I mean, if you began to use a knitting needle on this all the way through, you begin to understand. We don't necessarily have to reinvent the wheel sometimes. What we have to do is find a comfort place that we can operate from, build great structures, and we need to then support people so they can achieve their own level of greatness, right? And that's what we are called to do. And then our operations will simply flourish.
I was looking forward
to.
I was looking forward to coming to work here anyway because it's Friday, and I like the job that I do here. But after 10 o'clock, I put on different hats for the company, and I'm excited to see what my marketing people are going to be like this morning. I'm dying to see the new energy, and I'm dying to see all of the things that those aha moments that they've got in their head. 7:28 in the morning. There's Jerry Roberts and this morning's Extra Point. And yes, wait, are you leaving like now, or when are you going to be sticking around for a couple more days?
I've got a few more days to work with clients.
Okay.
And then I may get a couple days to relax too and just enjoy the
after you do this.
I'd like to do.
After you do this until you get on the airplane.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do this.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Just want to make sure I got the offer in there. 7:28 in the morning. Quick look at what's going on in the market. So we got a couple of things that are at play right now, including our own debt ratings have increased here on Guam. I'm going to see if I can get some commentary on that before too much longer. Also, word breaking from a variety of my financial resource news outlets, the mortgage rates have dropped below 6% for the first time in 3.5 years. FreddieMac.com, finance at yahoo.com, reporting that Freddie Mac today released the results of its primary mortgage market survey, showing a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage averaged 5.98%. It's been better, but if you're in the market for a house, all you need to worry about now, I think, is the availability of the house. It's getting better on the interest pressure here. 30-year FRM, 5.98 as of yesterday, down from last week when it averaged 6.01. Year ago, the 30-year was 6.76. 15-year FRM is now at 5.44%, up from last week when it averaged 5.35. A year ago, 15-year FRM's 5.94. And so if you, I don't know to what degree this is going to be helpful here on Guam, given the lack of availability of a lot of properties for sale. But if you're out in states, especially one where Tom Homan has cleared out a whole bunch of illegal aliens, my guess is you might be able to find a decent piece of property that you can buy at under 6% on FRMs.
Or maybe it's time to sell. And going back to the capital gains. The government should not be taking any money from you that you've been worked so hard many, many years to put into that house.
I think we turn that into a life quest among.
We
put
have
that,
to. We
put
gotta
that
get
down
rid of it.
on the list of the Ray-volution for the Ray-publicans that are running for political
Absolutely.
office. I've got
gotta
a
get rid of
growing list of asks with these guys, and I think I'm going to make that one of them. We start with tax rebates. We start with a taxpayer bill of rights. So when the government of Guam is over collecting revenue, that money doesn't need to go to anybody's special projects or unsolicited purchases and things like that. You give that money back to the people. Let us decide how we're going to spend that excess revenue. Bottom of the hour on the Ray Gibson Show. Look at news and headlines. This one being brought to you by BK, Burger King, where you rule. And they've got the Impossible Whopper there, and they got a fish sandwich for those of you that are observing Lent by not eating actual meat. Or maybe you just go, wow, beef's expensive these days. How can I get something a little bit cheaper? Yeah, you can. We'll talk about the price of beef and maybe some alternatives. It's also being brought to you, speaking of real estate, by the guys over at Hoffaday Realty, Auntie Libby, Auntie Loli, Saran, and Joe D, and all those folks out there that will answer your questions about what is available and maybe some benefits that you may have accrued as an example, being a member of the U.S. military. 588-4232 is the number at Hoffaday Realty. Now with the news, here's Charlie Hermoso. What's going on?
The home rates are going down, but the price of regular gas went up 10 cents to $4.87 a gallon at Mobil and Circle K 76 2 weeks after the last increase of also 10 cents. The 20 cents hike in 2 weeks brings the gas prices back to 2025 levels. Price at Shell remained at $4.77 a cent a gallon as Thursday afternoon rolled around. Meanwhile, a man found near his stalled vehicle in Jotnya told police he'd consumed 2 beers, but officers found several empty beer cans on the passenger side of the car and an open can in the cup holder, according to a magistrate's complaint filed in Superior Court. J.J. Paul, 35, was charged on Thursday with 2 counts of driving while impaired with a child on board as a third-degree felony, driving while impaired as a misdemeanor, and reckless driving as a petty misdemeanor. Meanwhile, surrounded by family and a large crowd of supporters, Republican Vice Speaker Anthony Toniata and his running mate, Edward John E.J. Calvo, on Wednesday filed their candidacy at the Guam Election Commission, formally entering the 2026 gubernatorial race. The Ada Calvo team thanked the more than 2,000 registered voters across the island who signed their nomination petitions. Their support reflects a growing coalition of families and small business owners, veterans, young professionals, and the community leaders who believe Guam's future must be built on disciplined leadership and practical solutions, the Ada Calvo campaign team said on a media release. And those are your local headlines. Back to Ray.
Right, on 7:33 in the morning, I'll take a look at some of the commentary on Facebook Live, YouTube Live here in just a second. And yes, there are some glowing referrals from listeners that attended Live to Lead yesterday, including one that was a presenter, Jessica Barrett, saying, I learned so much yesterday, and it has energized me to push forward to a forward movement. Truly appreciate the opportunity to share and grow. Safe travels home, Jerry. Well, it looks like we're going to keep him around for a couple of days. Now, one of the other things that we got to talking about yesterday, because, so you get all of us together at the same table, and, some people are coming up with ideas on things that we can implement, like, right away. And somebody said, what would be cool? I said, what's that? I said, can we get business cards with our pictures on them? And I'm like, why not? Let's do that all the time. And everybody can get it. The salespeople and the DJs can get something like that, and maybe something that just kind of elevates us from just the 2D image on the business card to something that's a little bit more, I don't know, personable. So yeah, those are things that we can work on. But the other one, we delved into a little bit of business while we were waiting on the next event, and got to talking about what's happening with the election. We're not quite in the election cycle, but it's beginning. It is beginning, and now the Guam Election Commission, they got a great website. I don't know if you go to this, but one of my favorite things is to see who has picked up packets and maybe going to be running for political office. Started on the 5th of January, and since then, 62 folks have picked up packets. Now, that doesn't mean 62 people are running. I know of a couple of people that picked up packets as kind of a science experiment, if you will. I'm just getting started here. I'm just kind of curious as to what's in it and what the process is. Angela Santos is running again for senator. I think she's going to be repping the Democratic Party in there. And one of my favorite Democrats of all time, because she's one of the sane ones, Senator Judy Gutherts, former Senator Judy Gutherts, is looking for a space on the Guam Education Board. So she's picked up a packet for that. Now, the real deal, as I said, just because you picked up a packet is meaningless until it's actually turned in. And so the real deal over at the Guam Election Commission is the people that have filed their election paperwork. And so far, there's only 3 people that have turned in all of their paperwork. There's Tony and EJ that you were talking about a second ago. The other campaign of Joe S. San Augustine and Kane Dwayne St. Nicholas is in there. Do we need to explain why we call him Kane Dwayne? I'm going to. I supported that.
I could use a good caning.
I supported that legislation. We got too many scoundrels around here that leave their crap on the beach and on the side of the road and beat up their family members and sell drugs and
the cane of consequence.
Graffiti things. Yeah. So guess what? We catch you on this. Here's your choices. You can pay a fine, or you can go sit in a jailhouse for a while, or we'll give you caning. A public caning somewhere. Center Court, Micronesia Mall. You know what I mean? They just bring everybody out there. We'll bring a guy out with like super sick dark glasses, and we'll just whack you a few times with. I don't want to be specific about this. I think whoever it is that's doling out the punishment, I think they ought to have a say in what they're going to be using to actually to extend the consequences of the actions. In the olden days, the old time Chamorro was always referred to a cowtail. A cowtail. Yeah. Because you cut off when you dispatch the cow, you cut off the tail, and then it dries out into something that's got it's firm but flexible, as a good beating weapon should be.
Or a wire hanger.
Wire hangers.
Oh.
Wire hangers.
Oh my God! All the traumas are coming out.
Hey. Yeah.
Listen, we were all beaten.
That's what.
Tell them we were all beaten.
Choose the belt that you'd like your punishment paddled in. Yeah. That's and the soft one was never the right one. You go with the leather one, grit your teeth, and take your punishment. But and so he introduced the legislation that would allow for that, and unfortunately it didn't pass, and that's why his nickname is Kane Dwayne. At least on this show. Studio time is 7:37, and one other person that has filed their candidate packet is former Senator Roy Cheeseburger Kinata. We call him that. Because somebody thought they were being funny and put a picture of a cheeseburger on one of his campaign signs, and actually, I think that actually got him votes.
He took it well.
He took it well.
That's the attitude.
Anyway, 7:38 in the morning. Lots and lots in the table of contents. I'll get around to that. We'll take a look at what's happening in traffic probably after these.
Craving delicious dishes with local flavors? Look no further than Mescla Bistro. From our juicy burgers to flavorful seafood and local fusion, every dish is made with love and the freshest ingredients. Join us for an unforgettable lunch, dinner, or decadent Sunday brunch. Visit us online at mesclaguam.com or call 671-479-2652 or 671-489-2653 to make a reservation. Mescla Chamorro Fusion Bistro, a true taste of Guam.
Okay, got it. Not everybody was behind it. Sandra Regis chiming in online saying, thank goodness that dumb bill didn't pass. What kind of Santa believes to fix violence with violence? The problem, babe, is that nothing that we're doing right now seems to be helping. It doesn't matter. We got really, really stupid people around here doing really, really stupid things. Sometimes it's because they're broken in the head anyway, and sometimes they made it worse with alcohol and drugs, crystal methamphetamine and that kind of thing. But my guess is probably even through the worst of their tweaking moments, they can probably feel a little bit of pain that is being doled out by somebody because you were idiotic, graffitiing something, and like I said, stealing from your mom and dad to support your habit. And if timeout didn't work before, I think we do need to escalate a little bit. Anyway, 7:40 in the morning. I'm not talking about extension cords like Mike Grace Bloss is. I'm going, whoa, extension cords? Really? This is
hey, pump the brakes, bro.
People remind me, this is the Passion of the Christ. You know, you get the scourge at the pillar. That's I wasn't talking about scourge at the pillar. Jessica asking, it's called a guaca, right? And the answer is, I don't know. I'm only half. You know me. I'm only half Guamanian. Let me get the other half Guamanian. Do you know what it's called? The cowtail?
I don't, man. Thank God I never got one.
Okay,
of those,
another.
All I got was oxtail.
A more brown person will tell us what the tomorrow word is for it at some point. Anyway, what was that? 20 away from the top of the day. It was Beyond the Box time. Swing by BTB. There's all kinds of new technology that you can fall in love with. But call before you go. I'm going to give you this piece of advice. Call Beyond the Box before you go and check things out. You know, because gas is like $4.88 now. So give them a call and find out what they've got. They're getting restocked with stuff all the time. Getting ready for all the things that are coming up here. We got graduations, Mother's Day, Father's Day, all of that's happening before you know it. So they're restocking all kinds of new technology. New M5 Mac Mini is on the way. New AirTags, and there's supposed to be at least one other new Apple product that I got to find out what it is, because I'm dying to find out when those things are going to be coming in. So save your money for now until you find out whatever it is that you're looking for. The upgrades and the restocking are coming in at Beyond the Box, first floor of the Micronesia Mall. 741 right now. And a look at what's going on in the roadways here. Let me see. That needs to get refreshed here. Okay, there's the Ipao traffic. That's what I was looking for all morning long. As usual, it's ugly until you get to Isang Song and Leche Macheche. You get past that, and you should be okay. If you are on Route 3 trying to get to Marine Corps Drive, going to have to live in the land of Suck It here for just a little bit from the intersection on Route 3 towards the Marine Corps Drive. Expect some delays through there. Once you get past that, it's just intersection traffic, red light, green light, yellow light, all of that stuff. From the Micronesia Mall down to 8, 10, and 16, it's okay most of the way, but you are going to run into a little bit of a slowdown just as you're making your way past all of the construction equipment and Super Happy Mart. Northbound on Route 8 towards the Tri-intersection, running a little bit slow, and things actually look pretty good on the Wendy's side right now. Not so much on the 10 and 15 intersection. As you're making your way past the mayor's office in the church, you are going to find some traffic on that roadway. Route 4, busy in the usual spots there, Ta'i and the Epicentro Gardens intersection. Likewise, moving into Ordot, Salampago area, expect some delays through there. Nothing major on the rest of Route 8 if you're trying to get into the downtown Agutya area. The only thing I think that might mess you up is the San Jose light has been on blink mode for the last couple of days. Yeah, because I wonder if they're waiting for a part there, too. Hey, we're going to get to that, Gibson.
What's the tracking number?
We're waiting on a part. Yes, I gave it to UPS. Man, I shouldn't have got that FedEx to Guam. Southbound on Marine Corps Drive all the way to Big Navy. It's looking pretty sweet. So enjoy the drive. 7:43. It's the Ray Gibson Show.
Get your hands on our long-standing favorite at Burger King, the classic original chicken sandwich. The original chicken sandwich features a lightly breaded chicken patty topped with fresh, crisp lettuce, creamy mayonnaise served on soft, elongated sesame seed bun. Have it your way by adding cheese, crispy bacon, and barbecue sauce. Make it a meal with jalapeno bites and a refreshing Coca-Cola. BK's classic original chicken sandwich, available all day at BK. You rule. Chumon Bay, Micronesia Mall, Agutya, and the airport.
Welcome back to Nissan Guam Deal of the Year. Okay, we have 2 contestants left. Phil, Jasmine, are you ready? Let's go.
Phil, you get to decide which you want Nissan Guam to make. 3 months or 6 months of your car payments on your next new Nissan vehicle.
Both offers sound so good. Let's see. I'm going for the 6 months.
Great choice. And you too can get your own Deal of the Year. See Nissan Guam first today.
That's a good plan. Portions of the Ray Gibson Show being brought to you by the folks over at Take Care. I'm looking at, and if you're a member of Take Care, as I am, they send you the Hoffa Health Patient Newsletter, and today some valuable advice from Rose Greeno, and it is about urgent care or ER. Now, there's a difference. There's a difference in the urgent care versus ER. As an example, if you've got strep throat, don't go to the emergency room. It's hell expensive. What we want you to do is go see a doctor, a technician over at Take Care. When illness or injury strikes unexpectedly, knowing where to turn makes all the difference. Guam's only truly dedicated urgent care facility right within the FHP Health Center in Tamuning. Their urgent care designed for exactly those moments when you need prompt attention, but your condition isn't life-threatening. No appointment necessary. Extended hours make it easy to get care when you need it. Now, some situations actually require an emergency room. Severe chest, abdominal pain, strokes, significant difficulty breathing, heart attack symptoms, serious head or eye injuries, severe burns, super high fevers, maybe suspected poisoning. And in that case, don't go to FHP. Call 911 and have one of Joey St. Nicholas's boys come and check you out. And that is some valuable advice there. That will actually save you some money. You go to the emergency room, it is the most expensive health care that you are going to pay for in your life. So always go and check things out if you can over at the urgent care. If you're, I think even if you're not a member, I think you can still go in there. You know, if you got something that needs attention, go and find somebody. 745, who's on the phone?
EJ Calvo, line 2.
Uh-huh.
And Jigo Jarhead, line 1.
Hey, okay, stand by now, Jigo Jarhead. I got to get EJ in because I need details and updates on the FIBA that is taking place. We had one game last night against the Australians. How did Guam do in that particular match there, EJ?
We did very well. I'm very proud of our guys. We fought the Australians hard. Ended up losing the game by 13, but we were 45-point underdogs, and I'm just glad that we presented a good fight.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I tell you what, because these guys are top seeds.
Yeah, number 7 team in the world, and we're still in the 70s, but I think we are going to climb the rankings and continue getting attention to Guam basketball.
Well, I was going to say, you certainly got their attention. Were they kind of stunned? Were they expecting a runaway victory?
Yeah, you could tell, and that's the best feeling as an athlete, as a coach, is when you shake hands after the game and you know you're in some respect out there in competition. So very pleased with the guys, very proud of them, and we are going to reboot and get ready for a big game against New Zealand on Sunday.
Yeah. Let's talk about that for a second. How was the crowd last night? And
The crowd was good.
Yeah.
And that's playing at home at this level of competition has been amazing. The crowd brings such good energy, and I think that's really the difference. Whenever we feel a little bit of the game slip away, we dig down and the crowd gets behind us.
Well, that was my experience when we were playing against the Philippines. I mean, that home court advantage and the love and the outpouring from friends and family and everybody. So get behind the team and see how that plays. So as you said, Sunday against the New Zealand All Blacks, huh?
The Kiwis are coming in, and they just beat the Philippines last night as well. So it's going to be a tough one, and as expected. But that's what we signed up for, right? To play against some of the top teams and just get better and represent Guam the best we can. So Sunday tip-off is at 5 o'clock. I recommend coming early, making sure you get a seat. Don't miss the introductions and the haka and all that before the game starts.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And it's a special game for me because it'll be my last game as head coach of the Guam men's national basketball team.
Well, I heard you have other things to keep you occupied moving forward.
Yes, I am getting busy. I like staying busy, and I think after 14 years of coaching our team, it's time to hand over the torch to the new generation of coaches and support from a different place.
Gotcha. We'll I've got another guy on another line, so I'll hold off on any other conversations about politics and the message that I'm trying to send to everybody I know that's running under the GOP flag is that we have got to point out the failures of the last 8 years and say, even though it's bad now, it could get worse if we continue to vote Democrats for Adelup and the legislature. We got to keep that red wave going as much as possible. I want voters to be afraid that a Democrat is going to get elected.
Yeah, thank you, Ray. We're going to definitely work towards change and turning things around. I'm actually on speakerphone here. With me is Senator Tony Atta. We just came from, wishing everyone good morning. So I just want to say hi. Good morning, Guam.
You know, Real Joe, I don't think we've seen the last.
Yeah, we were just Good morning to thousands of people driving from Jigo over by the GRMC and just feeling some good energy this morning and getting ready for a good weekend.
It's going to be a great weekend. We're going to do awesome against the Kiwis. Your last leadership shot in that game and on the courts. I wish you very, very good luck. We'll talk politics around the corner.
Sure. Thanks, Ray.
See you guys. It's the Ray Gibson Show. 888-825-5888-TALK is the telephone number. If you missed it last night, as he said, another big one is coming up. What do they call it? The scariest grouping that they had, the death group. It was Australia and New Zealand and the Philippines and Guam. And we are definitely hitting above our category here. Where are we? 7:50 in the morning. And who'd you say is on the phone?
It's a jarhead from Jigo.
Hey, Hafala, amigo. What you up to?
All right, my brother Ray. I'm just cheering up for those Atakavu. Let's go, Red. The question you had on the radio was, what is the name of the tail of the cow? Is Dadalak Guaca?
Guaca or Guata? With a T or a K?
The tail, Dadalak is the tail, and to cook it is oxtail.
There you go.
Oh, yeah,
one you like, one you don't like. I have no problems cooking up some oxtail, throw in some mungo beans and all of that stuff, and put that over rice and have a cold beer and enjoy it. I didn't like getting spanked with anything. We didn't have the guaca at my house. There were belts or hands, and Grandma was ace at throwing the zori. So that's how they got my attention when I was growing up.
All right, my brother. Just. Telling you what's the name.
I appreciate that.
Semper Fi.
Yeah. What do you got going on this weekend? You going to go down to Matic?
No, just relaxing. As you know, as a retired federal worker. Next week is payday on Mondays. It could be Sunday. It could falls in the first.
I got you. Well, enjoy the gig. Get out there and just watch the grass grow for a while.
Oh, yes, indeed, brother.
All right, Migo. I'll be thinking about you, man. You have a great weekend. 888-825-5888-TALK is the telephone number. And thank you very much, Charlie Hermosa. As soon as I said it, I knew I'd forget it. As I was reaching for the paperwork that I keep, the Ray Gibson, Ray Volution, and Ray Publican values here that I'd like to convince everybody. And you don't need to be a Republican. I just call it a Ray Publican list. But I think that these are initiatives that many people, even the Democrats, can move forward if they get to be elected senators of the 39th Guam legislature, including tax rebates, a taxpayer bill of rights. I want to go back to 21. I'd like to see a part-time legislature for guys like Jeff over at Pirates Cove, and I'll throw Vince Akimoto in here and Charlie Hermosa. These individuals don't necessarily line up all the way under a Republican flag. Know that they don't line up under a Democrat flag, but they might be of an independent notion. And it seems to me that the independents have been pushed down so hard by the way the system works, it's impossible for an independent to get elected into the legislature. And I think we need to turn that around and make it so that just because you're not a Republican or just because you're not a Democrat doesn't mean that you have no voice for the people of Guam. You should be as easily elected into the legislature as anybody else. Likewise, there are issues that the legislature is how do I say? Let's use Jesse Lohan's language. Doesn't have the appetite to take up, and so in those cases, when the voters need to see something done that the legislature isn't doing and the governor's not working on, then we need to find a way to make voter initiatives that much easier to accomplish. It's hard to make those bells ring at the legislature, and they're going to say, oh, the job of policy and that kind of creation that lies with us here at law creation lies with us in the legislature. No, it needs to rest with the voters as well. The population needs to have a say. All right, let me see. No more passing in the legislature. You get up there, and when it's time to vote, you vote yes or no. There's no more passing now. That's just what did Klitsky call that? He had a name for it. Do you remember what it was?
Useful idiot. I could be wrong.
You go, you've had your public hearings, you got the committee
That's a
work done.
curmudgeon.
You've seen this thing because the legislature, as soon as somebody introduces something, it goes up on the website. It's there. You should have a decision handy when it's time to vote on it. You don't You don't look around the room and see who's voting yes and see who's voting no before you decide which way the wind is blowing on this. Just have some stones here. Put some sand in your stomach. Let me see. Get rid of all of the laws and policies, especially policies that haven't been voted on because they were passed on by a board or a committee out there somewhere that's establishing rules that everybody thinks is matapeng. Like what was yours? The $2 thing on the credit cards?
Yeah, the fee.
Yeah, that's matapeng. We need to get rid of that. No cell phones in the legislature, especially on voting day. Sorry. Because everybody had their chance at influencing you one way or the other. Now that it's time to vote, put the phone away and don't take calls and messages from anybody in the front office over at Adelup or whoever is bankrolling your campaign. Let me see. The law requiring a 90-day 90-day on government claims. The elimination, there it is, on capital gains. Elimination of the graduated driver's license. Therese Terlai has introduced a measure that would save people, I think, 21 and older from having to go through the graduated driver's license process, to which I say, why the arbitrary number? Let's go to 16. People are legally,
give them the keys.
legally allowed to drive a car at the age of 16. But the problem is there's this stupid graduated process, and I don't even know all of the interstitials. I just know it's a pain in the butt because you got to go and you got to sign up, and then you got to drive with your parents for this, a licensed driver for this long, and then you've got to drive by yourself for this long, and then you got to wash the car and clean the mats, and then go and you got to go and sign up with somebody, and then for some reason you got to go and do something at the university. There's a part of the process that loops in the University of Guam.
That's true.
Before you and then
all
it's,
that to still suck at driving.
Congrats. Yeah.
But all those, everything you just said.
Why
Right?
do we have and the sin taxes? Let's get rid of the sin taxes. Does government actually do anything with the sin taxes? Does it actually go anywhere? Do we have all kinds of stuff over for lungers at the Guam Memorial Hospital? Do we have all of that stuff set up for lungers and folks with liver problems? Do we have liver transplant services with all of the millions of dollars that we are making on the sin taxes? Can we get rid of that? Yeah. And you know what? People are going to smoke and they're going to drink. And they'll probably smoke and drink more if there weren't any sin taxes attached to that. And the businesses that sell cigarettes and booze can be in better shape, right?
Yeah, and and we
I want to go back to smoking inside again.
I agree.
Okay.
Oh, that's been
in
close.
the planes
That's been
too.
close. But we got to continue to promote, right? The fact that all the entrepreneurs or those that want to start a business, don't be afraid. I mean, because a lot are, I'm going to pay too much into the government. There's certain limits about how many employees after I reach this threshold, then I have to pay more.
Yep.
It should be. We need to go back to the days where we would promote small businesses, let them make them, do well.
Well, it's what I was talking about yesterday, and that economic summit that they had. I was joking around about the guy wants to sell an island up in the NMI. But what were they saying about we got to? It's the role of the business community and the role of the government should be enabling the business community, enabling the private sector. And I think we need to go to Webster's dictionary and read the definition again of enabling. What more?
There's drugs in there somewhere.
The government do
food.
to enable businesses to open and survive for a while and maybe even thrive? Is there more that can be done?
Thrive. There is nothing wrong with doing well. There is nothing wrong with we need to make sure and start promoting that. We got to bring that back. We cannot be afraid anymore.
We will, and I will type all of this stuff up one of these days and put it someplace where everybody can read the Ray Gibson manifesto on the way things would be if I was the Ayatollah of Guam. It's 7:58 and change. Got more AI stuff to play around with. I realized yesterday it had been a while since I'd come up with a cool AI song, so I went to the Suno and asked it to make me something. So I don't know if it's going to, be like that cool AI song, but it made my ego huge. Made my ego absolutely huge. I asked it to make me a 1960s spoken word ballad for me.
For you?
Yes, the Ballad of Ray Gibson.
Yeah.
You ever read like the Ballad of the Green Beret? Fighting soldiers from the sky, brave man, about to die. I think that's the thing in the song. I don't know, but anyway, you know, they had and there was like a male choir in the background just humming, you know, something like the Star Spangled Banner. Anyway, so the Ballad of Ray Gibson is coming up here in just seconds. I know. You're glued to the radio now that you've heard that. Stay glued to the radio. Some interesting economic news coming out of the U.S. And Hillary Clinton said, I don't know nothing. What difference does it make anyway? We'll hear more about that on Fox News Live. That's coming up in just a few minutes. And then on the other side of that, among the last, unfortunately, of the newscast that Charlie Hermosa is going to be doing for us, as we believe that Donna is going to be back in our time zone and this zip code Monday morning. We'll see about that. News and headlines and more with Charlie Hermosa as the Ray Gibson Show continues. KUSG Aganya, this is 93.3, Pika's Best, The Point.
Of the Epstein files. Lisa Brady, Fox News. And some in Congress say it's not nearly over yet.
We should depose the person that is mentioned in the Epstein files almost more than any other person next to Ghislaine Maxwell, and that's Donald Trump.
The House Oversight Committee's ranking Democrat Robert Garcia after the panel heard from former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, who told them she knew nothing about Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell's crimes. Former President Bill Clinton gives a deposition tomorrow. But Democrats say focusing on the Clintons is a distraction, accusing the Justice Department of withholding files showing allegations against President Trump. Republicans suggesting an effort to reach the current president is why Democrats went along with the subpoena for the Clintons. The New York City mayor, Zohran Mamdani, makes an unannounced visit to the White House, posting an Oval Office photo and writing he looks forward to building more housing in New York City.
It is the second time Mamdani has met face-to-face with the president in what has become an unusual partnership between the Democratic Socialist mayor and Republican president. Mamdani says he also shared concerns about the detention of a Columbia University student by ICE and says President Trump informed him she would be released imminently.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. That student's detention prompted protests and an investigation at Columbia, which has now confirmed the student was released. A federal judge in Nashville hearing arguments about the criminal case against a man mistakenly deported to El Salvador last year.
Gilmar Abrego Garcia faces human smuggling charges stemming from a 2022 traffic stop in Tennessee. Charges not filed until after the Salvadoran national became a lightning rod for the Trump administration's immigration policies. Abrego Garcia's lawyers arguing the charges should be dropped on the grounds of selective or vindictive prosecution.
Fox's Jeff Benasso, a federal prosecutor, says the case is based on evidence. No decision yet from the judge. America is listening to Fox News.
And welcome back to Nissan Guam, Deal of the Year. Okay, we have two contestants left. Phil, Jasmine, are you ready? Let's go.
Phil, you get to decide which you want Nissan Guam to make. 3 months or 6 months of your car payments on your next new Nissan vehicle.
Both offers sound so good. Let's see. I'm going for the 6 months.
Great choice. And you too can get your own Deal of the Year. See Nissan Guam first today.
Craving delicious dishes with local flavors? Look no further than Mezcla Bistro. From our juicy burgers to flavorful seafood and local fusion, every dish is made with love and the freshest ingredients. Join us for an unforgettable lunch, dinner, or decadent Sunday brunch. Visit us online at mezclaguam.com or call 671-479-2652 or 671-489-2653 to make a reservation. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro, a true taste of Guam.
Vice President J.D. Vance looking ahead to the midterms during a visit to Wisconsin.
Do we want to give power back to the people who opened our border, who raised your taxes, who won't even cheer for a 6-year-old girl who was wounded because of their bad policies? And I think our answer to that is hell no.
Criticizing Democrats in Congress for what they did not support during the State of the Union address while pitching the president's agenda. He's also leading a fraud crackdown that includes pausing some Medicaid funding to Minnesota.
Did you hear in there what specific steps they were going to take to stop the fraud or what the specific fraud they were talking about? They're using it as a general term in this, and they're not serious.
Governor Tim Walz accusing the Trump administration of a retribution campaign against Democrat-led states. Tuning in for sports, not as easy as it used to be, and the Federal Communications Commission is now reviewing that.
What channel is the game on? It's not on regular TV. Which streaming service? I have to press the source button on the remote control. Unlike the old days, when fans never questioned how to watch their favorite team's games, nowadays it can be a sport to locate a given game. Broadcast TV, cable, Netflix, Prime Video, Peacock, Disney+. The Federal Communications Commission issued public notice Wednesday stating, many consumers today find it more difficult to find the events they want to watch and are now paying to sign up for one or more video distribution platforms consumers can find difficult to navigate. It's possible this notice from the FCC could promote a pause from sports leagues to prevent further fragmentation before their next broadcast deals get made. Jared Max, Fox News.
In the ongoing bidding war for Warner Brothers, just getting reports that Warner now deems Paramount's takeover bid superior to Netflix, giving Netflix 4 business days to counter. A mixed finish on Wall Street. The Dow up 17 points, but the S&P dropped 37. The Nasdaq down 273. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Sit-down breakfast? Wendy's. Grab-and-go breakfast? Wendy's. Big variety? Wendy's. Best value on island? Yeah, you guessed it. Wendy's. From hearty local breakfast platters to breakfast sandwiches and burritos to the morning melt panini made for mornings on the move. Wendy's breakfast has something for every kind of morning. Whether you've got the time to sit or you're heading out the door, Wendy's delivers big flavor and unbeatable value. However you start your day, start it with Wendy's.
Are you or someone you love struggling with mental health or substance use and facing legal trouble? The Mental Health Court offers a second chance. Through treatment, support, and accountability, you can turn your life around. If you're ready to take that step, we are here to help you succeed. To learn more, visit guamcourts.gov. Mental Health Court. Hope, healing, a fresh start. This project was supported by grant number 15PBJA22GG03040MENT, awarded by the Bureau of Justice Assistance, a component of the Department of Justice's Office of Justice Programs. Points of view or opinions in the project are those of the authors and do not necessarily represent the official position or policies of the U.S. Department of Justice.
Yo, Guam, it's going down at Ipoh Beach Park. The Hofaloa Concert Series 5 is back, and this time, J-Boog live on Island. March 6th, one night only. Big vibes, big energy, and all the island energy under the stars. If you've been waiting for a concert worthwhile, this is the one. Tickets available now at guamtime.net. Don't wait, these will sell out. J-Boog live at Ipoh Beach Park, March 6th. Aloha Part 5. Be there.
Nice to know ya. Let's do it again. News this hour is brought to you by Family Finance.
Half a day and good morning. It's 8:07. I'm Charlie Minosa with a look at your local news on The Point. A man accused of damaging a neighbor's car with a hammer told police he did it because he was angry at a woman, according to a magistrate complaint filed in Superior Court. Jeffrey Slater, 28, was charged Wednesday with criminal mischief as a third-degree felony. At 7:30 p.m. Tuesday, officers were called to apartments on Alligator Street in Dedito, where a resident reported seeing Slater, a neighbor, damage her 2015 Buick Regal. If found guilty, he could face 5 years in prison. He was released on a $3,000 personal recognizance bond. In other news, District Court of Guam Magistrate Judge Michael Bordallo had noted progress is being made in a pandemic unemployment assistance program fraud case and asked attorneys to continue going through discovery during a Thursday status hearing. The judge said trial is still set for September 22nd and that the chief judge is asking parties to start working on jury questionnaires. Bordallo said he expects there will be a lot of people who will be screened for jury selection and the questionnaire will help parties with the process. More news after this.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that family vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,000 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña 475-4545 or Dededo 633-4473. Family Finance.
Get ready for a day of sun and surf and sand and creativity at the 2026 Sand Sculpture Festival hosted by the Guam Nikki Association. This year's festival will be held on Sunday, March 15th at the Governor Joseph Flores Memorial Beach Park or Ipao Beach in Tumont from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Sand Sculpture Festival is anticipated to bring together youth, families, artists, and community members for a day of creativity and culture exchange along one of Guam's most beloved shorelines, the Guam Nikki Association said in a media release. Meanwhile, the Guam Homeland Security Office of Civil Defense said some advisories remain in effect associated with the shear line near Guam waters this week. Strong winds in the Marianas have been generating hazardous to dangerous conditions across all coastal waters. And those are your top stories right here on The Point. Now here's Ray with your weather.
I might get around to it. I'm just looking at some of the comments on Facebook. Hey, the hot sister of the program, Pam Duvall's online.
Oh, don't read the comments.
What? No, she got a good,
Hey, good morning, Pam.
She has an interesting question, and it's why can't government vehicles be simple pickup trucks instead of the new fancy expensive trucks? And the answer is they don't make small trucks anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, take a look around. It's rare to get something that's just a standard old like the kind that I used to drive. You know, just an old Datsun B210 pickup truck from back in the old days. Regular car tires on it. And another big difference that you will see in cars, in trucks these days, is the beds are a lot shorter than they used to be.
Right.
You remember back in the old days? I mean, they used to have like long beds on these things.
Yeah,
Just load up all kinds of stuff in them, and now they're almost square and kind of boxy in the back of it, and they make the bed shorter so that you can put 18 people in the front. That's so you can haul everybody.
That's a really good point. I mean, some of the the vehicle recovery vehicles. I mean, there's some old ones out there that are still running around and they're doing the job.
But like I said, like those little key cars that are coming from Japan, I think people are buying those because they want a truck, but they don't want a big truck. You know, they don't want to get those 15 mile per gallon trucks that everybody else has got these days. So I think there's a market. I think that's going to come back. I don't pay attention to everything in the automotive world, but that was something that caught my eye the other day. Is that there are people saying, yeah, I want a truck, but I don't need one of these big city sized trucks. For God's sakes, sometimes I have to park at the Deucet, or the Deucet Resort, the old outrigger in there with the smallest parking slots in the world. 811 on the Ray Gibson Show. All right, good point, though. I'm glad you brought that up. I got Jerome McDonald. He says Costco unleaded in States is $4 and a nickel. High octane is $4.39. Okay, but that's the Costco price. You got to be a member to get that. So what's the price at a regular Gavin Newsom gas station in states in California? That's what I want to know. And then more lingering conversation on what the Chamorro word is for the cowtail. Jeff Pleadwell says Charlie for independent governor. Is there more? Vote red, says Chech Garcia. Good to see you in the thing. Sandra says, we got the belt, then advanced to the extension cord. One time my mom spanked me in the shower. LOL, I thought I was going to catch fire.
Oh, my
God. It burns. It burns.
Throw the radio in the shower.
My friend Smug says you can pay for an entire Key truck for less than the down payment on a Kia Soul. Ruel de Rooster Drilon says, my 97 T100 still runs great. Good for you. Good for you. 888-8255, 888-TALK. On the other machine, on the YouTube side, it looks like everybody's chiming in. I got Booney Dog Chamorro on the screen. I might as well do the whole thing because I didn't read the names when we did the attendance report because I forgot to get the feed heat up in time. Stephen Klein's online on the YouTube side. So is Tommy Garcia. Guam, USA. Ron Castru says, Biba, YouTube mammy pointers. Good to have you. There's adult supervision, MP Ogo. When the feed was not up, I thought it was Saturday. Sorry, guys, man. It was one more. I was wondering why, as I was, getting ready for the show, why it felt like I had more time. And it was because there was one thing that I forgot to do, and that was turn on the YouTube feed. Sorry. JW says, TGIF, barbecue grill marks all weekend long. Wow, already March. Absolutely. Good morning and happy Friday from the name that I can never pronounce. I got more from Booney Dog Chamorro, left Guam. Says, hey, Mo. Three Stooges. Hey, Mo. Booney Dog Chamorro, holy smokes. Land in the dumb or dumber. That's the haircut that he's talking about.
The best movies.
Salad bowl haircut, $5. Losing big corporate industries boost bond ratings for Guam. Who's doing the ratings? Enron is doing the ratings. Yeah, that's an interesting point, and one that I'm sure the governor's office will tout. They'll they'll send the press release from the S&P Global Ratings to their AI and have them turn this into another one of these student council president speeches, talking about how yes we've lost DFS. We're going to lose Lotte. There's no more Planet Hollywood and Hard Rock Cafe around here. But look, our general obligation debt has been raised. You know why? Because they're still overcharging the people of Guam. That's why.
And that was one of the critical points she made. She said we cannot risk, right, with the bonds and our ratings if we roll back the BPT.
Yep.
Look what it's doing.
Going to see what folks have got to say over at the legislature about this. Mid-Atlantic 671 says, good morning, Guam, and more. 888. And another point that Booney Dog is making, you're absolutely right. We're doing so well, there is no urgency, it seems, to turn on the property tax invoicing.
Yeah,
it's 3 months now.
It's a software issue right now.
That's what they said. Yeah, they're waiting for a part. It's all coming in the same Amazon box. The part that will get the traffic lights over at the San Jose all taken care of, and the part that will fix all of the Mazulang traffic pedestrian traffic things. We're gonna get in there, and then the new software for our property tax. It's all coming in the same Amazon box. Oh no, it's in Richmond, California.
The government is not in a position. They're not a business. They're not in a position to be making money.
But for sure. It's just you're right. There doesn't seem to be any urgency to turn that on. I mean, you think after 3 months of not being able to collect property tax revenue, somebody'd be going crazy. We're going to cover payroll somewhere.
You're going to see everything. You're going to be like, whoa, we're collecting way too much. I think people are going to start seeing that.
We can hold our breath on that for this long. 8:16 in the morning on the radio. At least that's what it looks like from over here in the cheap seats. I was supposed to do weather, right? Is that what you told me I'm supposed to do? Okay. Says, mostly sunny. Highs near 86 degrees. Easterly winds up to about 15 miles an hour. We will see some gusts as high as 20 miles an hour. And is that haze that I'm looking at when I'm driving into town? Is there like a haze? Is that the saltwater spray that just kind of lingers over the island when we've got weather like this? I don't know. Mostly cloudy in the forecast tonight. Overnight low 76 degrees. Same thing for tomorrow. Sunday calls for partly sunny with highs near 87, but it's still going to be nice. We're not going to see a whole lot other than isolated showers over the next couple of days. Which is cool as well. With a heat index today, we'll feel like 90 degrees with a 20% chance of rain. The only other thing that you need to know about is if you are going to be going and getting wet out in the waters, try to stay near the shore. Don't go anywhere near the reefs. Over the reef for sure, don't do that. It's just that everything is going to be all rocky out there. High surf, coastal flood watch, rip currents, and that kind of thing. So you gotta work through all of that. Just stay safe. Just stay on the beach with your beer and your cooler and your barbecue and the bikinis. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. No need to go out there.
Swimming.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah, you're just gonna die and the shark is gonna eat you. On my way to turn in 5 stray pups to gain, says Pam Duval. And Peter Santos says, Taja, let's see, Taja spam. Thank you very much for the memory. All right, and while I have a second, I'm being inundated here with a number of menus from all kinds of different places. My brother Johnny sent me a thing for the Sonny's food truck. That's the one at East Agania. No, I'm sorry, West Agania. West Side. So I'm digging some of this. It's Lenten food for today, Lenten comfort food today. So they got grilled tataga with tuba vinegar, frilled salmon collars, grilled finger ribs, spare ribs, stafao pica, baked salmon, escabetzi made from the parrotfish, jumbo prawns and coconut milk. They've got octopus kelliguen.
How?
Hey, nice. Tuna poke and hoki clam kelliguen as well. Like the prices.
Take credit cards.
And then they take credit cards. Bro, that stops me. That stops me more than anything else. So I'll pass by something and I'll go, hey, man, that looks good. Or, hey, or more these days, hey, that smells good. And I realize I've got no cash on me. And by the time I go to the ATM, I'm not hungry anymore. So, but the other thing is this weekend, Sunday, a new place over at Leo Palace is going to be opening. And I had the opportunity to go in there. And it's the place is called Okibi. If you know where Tangan is, just go to the hotel side. And if you're going, don't go where the bowling alley is, other side. So when you hit the bottom of the stairs, turn to your left and go all the way down the hall, and it will be worth it. That walk will be worth it. The place is called Okibi, and I went for a tasting the other day and loved everything that I put in my mouth.
Follow your nose?
Well, I mean, it's so the concept is street food from around Asia. So they've got all kinds of things that you would expect to get if you were in places like Vietnam. They have, this is good, a satay kajang from Thailand, charcoal grilled chicken skewers, and the peanut sauce, crazy delicious on it. They've got Yung Yum chicken from Korea. They've got another Vietnamese one that I can't pronounce, but it has shrimp, romaine lettuce, rice noodles, mint, cucumbers wrapped in rice paper with a peanut dipping sauce. Dr. Wen, what is that stuff called? There's Szechuan beef. There's another, here's a Korean one that I don't know how to say the name of. Just ask for number 6. It's rice sticks, garlic, spicy chili sauce, and gochujang. You got to put the gochujang on red sauce. Here's one I can pronounce. Pad Thai from Thailand. Imuk Tang from Korea. Chao Gyao from Vietnam.
Ooh,
here's one. Ground fork, shrimp, bean thread wrapped in rice paper, deep fried till crispy. Yes, lumpia. Good job,
I
Joe.
speak it.
Gyoza from Japan. Guabao. Oh, my God. Guabao. Braised pork belly, pickled greens, peanuts wrapped in a steamed bun.
Oh, my God.
This is bomb. Now, the last time I had pork belly like this was at Poke Fry. You remember the pork belly things that they used to come up with? You could eat it all by itself, and oh God, it's so good. This and so it goes in the bun, and this is awesome. This is bomb, and you get a little bit of extra sauce from some of the other stuff. So the idea is you can get like one of these things or a couple of these things, and do it like Japanese izakaya style. You get just plates everywhere. I feel bad for the guy that has to wash the dishes because there's going to be plates everywhere. They got crispy butterfly squid, which might be the best unrubbery squid I've ever had in my life. It was absolutely bomb, and it wasn't. You know, sometimes you get the squid and it's like chewing a big bag of peanut
texture.
Yeah. This one not. They've got it. Bak Kut Te from Singapore. Lu Rao Fan from Taiwan, Connie croquettes from Japan, and I was raving about this as well, yakisoba. So these are little plates that you can get, kind of, I don't want to say appetizers, but you get it, one of this, one of that, one of the other, and just kind of enjoy your trip around Asia. And there are bigger entrees as well that I was looking at. They've got a thing, and they got those little barbecue pits at the table. So you can also get a platter of raw stuff and cook it yourself.
Oh, so it's all different plates from Asia then.
Yeah.
I thought it was Japanese. Wow, that's
well, the name is Japanese, but the intent is street food from around Asia, and everything I put in my mouth was good. 822. What's that, Joe? Where am I going?
Lisa Berdalio's on the phone.
Hey.
But we got to do this.
I
break.
didn't do the break yet?
No, sir.
Right on. Okay. Because I wanted to get the menus out there. I wanted to let people know what was going on. But all kinds of Mess Tomorrow activities taking place, including and a couple of big headlines from Lisa and the folks over at GVB. That's coming up next.
Got friends who still haven't switched to GTA? Now's the time to give them a nudge, because you can get up to $150 just for sending them our way. Refer a friend who signs up for a single service like wireless or internet, and you'll score $100. And if they go for a choice bundle, that's a cool $150 in your pocket. It's It's simple, it's sweet, and it pays to share. Visit GTA.net to start referring today. GTA, we start with you. Terms and conditions apply. Visit GTA.net for more information.
Who knew buying gas could help with your grocery bills? At 76 Circle K, when you fuel more, you can win groceries. Every 7 gallons of fuel earns you an automatic entry to win up to $3,500 in groceries every week at Payless. Fuel up and you're in. For My Rewards members, entries are tracked automatically. Not a member yet? Join My Rewards free. Fuel more, win groceries. Only at 76 Circle K Guam. No purchase necessary. Ends April 12th. See rules for details.
Need a man. 823 Ray Gibson Show portion is brought to you by APL, American President Lines, a global presence with a local home. Also being brought to you by the team over at Wendy's. They got all kinds of stuff they want you to look at and think about in terms of your Lenten meals if you are observing Lent that way. And even if you're not, you're still worth going down there. They've got these golden fried shrimp. Back for Lent, crispy, golden, and served as a sandwich or a platter with rice and salad. Smart, satisfying, and just for a limited time. Lenten season ends on Easter, only at Wendy's.
News to fill your mind. Talk to get it out. The Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-8255.
He said, 824 Ray Gibson Show, and a couple of things that I've have crossed over on my WhatsApp and big deals that are taking place with the Guam Visitors Bureau. It has nothing to do with any conversations that they had over at the legislature. Put that behind you. They're moving forward, and they got a new assistant general manager out there, Frank Areola. Not that one, the other one has been named the second in charge over at the GVB.
Morning.
Hey, how you doing there, Lise?
I'm doing okay. Moving forward as always.
There we go. So, tell me a little bit about Frank. Was there a job application he had to sign? Was there procurement or something for the position?
No, for the assistant general manager or the vice president, it is the president and CEO who can select their AGM or their vice president.
Gotcha.
And that's by law. It just has to be approved by the board, her selection. So her selection was Frank Areola, not that one, the other one. And then it was brought to the board yesterday and with a resolution, and they approved it. So congratulations to our new VP, Frank Areola.
Okay, so, and I'm sure he's got some bona fides that we can talk about. But the other question that I have is, so when's Jerry's last day? When's he got to turn in the keys?
Well, he's going to stay on for a little bit as an advisor to make sure that it's a seamless transition. There's a lot of operations involved. And Jerry has actually stayed on just to help with Regine's transition as well. He
was only supposed to be the number 2 there for a little, like 60 days, 90 days when they first appointed Carl, and he stayed the entire time. Seemed to be having a good time doing it as well. I mean, the guy was born into that gig, and I'm glad to see that he's going to be sticking around and showing Frank the ropes before he decides that this time for real I'm going to retire.
Yes. I mean, if I was Frank, I would want him. Jerry's just been such a pleasure to work with. He's so knowledgeable. You're right. He was only supposed to be there for a short time, but it kept extending. But, he's just so up on the trends and innovative, and he's been, everybody, we all love him, and we're going to miss him a lot. And I know that he's itching to spend some time with the grandkids and see his family and enjoy retirement life.
He dotes on those kids, and I see him from time to time, and he'll be looking at his phone, and I'm going, what you reading? He's not reading anything. He's looking at pictures of him and the grandkids, trying to figure out when he's going to be able to get back on an airplane and go see them. He's also got a fondness for going on ocean cruises, so I think maybe I got to set up an exit interview with him before too much longer. 8:27 in the morning, and congratulations to Frank. A lot of eyes are going to be on you, and I hope you got thick skin, because I don't know, it seems to me people, it's their hobby is to give GVB a hard time.
At least lately.
Where are we? 8:27, and before we get into anything else, it's going to be a busy Sunday coming up. We got the grand opening of that new place out at Leo Palace, Okibi. There's going to be that big basketball game against the Kiwis at the University of Guam Fieldhouse, the Guam team versus these guys for the FIBA Championship of the World. And then what's the other one? It's a night market down in Tumon.
Yep. We're kicking off the mess tomorrow down at the night market, so we'll have a lot of that's the theme is Biba tomorrow, and so the entertainment's going to be tomorrow music. We got Malik Mona among others, and tomorrow dance troops, and some activities. We've got they're going to have a coconut relay and a kumzuing weaving, all of that kind of demonstration.
And the tonka, we're gonna have tonka. But you know what?
Tonka, yeah.
Is there somebody like Old Chamorro that's gonna teach everybody how to play that? We always had one at the house, but I don't know how to play it.
I never did, but I learned just recently, and guess who taught me? My daughter. She said, "You don't know how to play tonka, Mom?" I said, "No." So they had a little portable board, and it's not a hard game. It's actually kind of fun, especially when you're just sitting down with your daughter and you're just chit-chatting it up. It doesn't take so much required thought. It's just kind of a passing time. So I enjoyed it. There will be somebody down there with the chunka boards and everything, probably teaching people how to play, and
Well, I'm glad. And as usual, we got the food trucks, and there's going to be somebody on a stage and all kinds of folks to run around with, beer gardens, and so make sure that you got some folding money to take advantage of all the vendors that are going to be down there. I still haven't made a Tumon night market yet. I've been doing them for all of the year, and I still haven't gone out. Maybe this is going to be the one where I go down to Tumon for the beach during the day and just stick around until it gets to be evening and wander around that and take it all in.
Yeah, you should end up there, after your evening run, and just walk around and check it out. It's just nice to see everybody. That's where you see, nobody can really call it a ghost town. That's where you see a lot of our visitors, and they come in, and there's a lot of locals in there too, and they're just side by side bumping elbows, and they watch each other. I watch the visitors. They look at the places to eat. They see where the locals go. And they pick up some interesting, this is not just, shell jewelry. There's so much. When the vendors change, there's so many different types. And you really find some interesting stuff down there. So if you haven't been, please go.
Are you working with Gita and Guma? I think between the two of them, they're both of them launching a little bit of an initiative to promote Made on Guam.
Yes, we are. So Gita is assisting and Guma to be able to offer products made in Guam, and so I think that it helps with their exhibition fees a little bit to make sure that they're able to provide their products down there.
Yeah. Is there a section there for Made in Guam? Or is
I believe that there is a section. I did not go. I did not go last time. I don't even know why I wasn't there, but that was the plan, that there is a Guma booth.
Gotcha. All right, so the fun starts as soon as you get there and doesn't end until later. Just go follow your nose, because it will tell you where all of the good chow is being cooked up at all the food trucks. You'll be able to hear the entertainment from wherever you happen to be. That's it. That's all I need from you here. I want you to have a great weekend. Maybe I'll see you at Biba Miss tomorrow somewhere, if not over at the Tumon Night Market. We got 4 days worth of activities down in Yamatic that starts today. So I'll get that schedule out a little bit later on. Lisa, I'll see you soon.
Yes, I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Shujutz, 888-8255. So we did ask the question yesterday, because I didn't want to be the guy that said, "Oh yeah, we've been playing tonka since Magellan, since the olden times, since the very first Chamorro that ever set foot on Guam." He had a sling, and he had the tonka. Apparently, the deal is it's from the Philippines, and maybe came here with the Filipinos and the Spaniards, and that's okay. That's okay. We just changed it around. We put a CH in the front of it, so it's tomorrow now. But anyway, we got that. They tell me though, when I was growing up, Grandma had one in the house, and I said, "What's that for?" And she explained that it was a game, and I said, "Wow, but didn't you have TV when you were a kid?" And she said, "No, we didn't have TV. There was like one radio station, and that was it." So
was their Atari.
Yeah, that was the PlayStation back in the olden days. Was the tonka. You got a typhoon. You got nothing to do until the typhoon blows down, and then when you come to, there's nothing going on. You can play it by candlelight. Enough of the light that comes off the mosquito coil, you can play the game by that. And I'd like I said yesterday, it was all for me. It was just the sound that the cowrie shells make in the little holes that we've got around there. Are there different ways? I got to. She didn't know. She was no, but somebody out there.
There's ways to cheat, Ray.
Are there? Yes, that's the other question. How can I be the hands down Tonka champion of Guam? 8:33 in the morning. I still haven't played. For those of you that were listening in the last hour and said, "Oh no, I had to tune away." Did he already play the Ballad of Ray Gibson? And the answer is no. I've not yet played the Ballad of Ray Gibson as performed by the AI Suno app. I will get that on the air after we're done with a short round of celebrity birthdays, things to celebrate, and news and headlines with Charlie Hermosa.
Kim Anderson from Security Title here, sharing an important tip about how you own your property. Do you know that there are several ways to hold title? You can be a sole owner, hold title as community property with your spouse, as joint tenants with rights of survivorship as tenants in common, or even through a trust or LLC. Each option impacts inheritance, control, and how your property can be transferred in the future. Your family attorney can help you determine what's best to avoid legal issues and protect your investment. And when you're ready to record, call the professionals at Security Title. We are here to help.
Level up your fitness routine with Subway's new Fresh Fit collection, built to fuel your day with better-for-you subs. Each new Fresh Fit sub is packed with protein, stacked with a full serving of veggies, all under 500 calories. Give in to the guilt-free pleasures of the new Fresh Fit subs only at Subway. Eat fresh, feel good.
$8:34. Sangka, traditional Filipino mancala game played with shells or stones in a wooden boat-shaped board featuring 14 small holes, the bahay, and 2 large end holes.
Oh, nice.
I'm sorry.
Way to go.
I'm going Beavis and Butthead laugh. Did he say end holes? He didn't say
cornholio.
end holes. That's the ulo. The goal is to accumulate the most shells in your head by moving pieces clockwise, starting with 7 shells in each small hole. Not the end hole, the small hole.
No, not that one.
8:35 in the morning. And our last look at news and headlines for Charlie Hermosa. And before we get way deep into it, thank you again for coming in and agreeing to sub for Donna D. I know you've got a ton of other things that you can do for 3 hours in the morning, but thankful that you came over here.
It's always an honor and a pleasure.
There you go. What are the last look at news going to tell us? What's there?
A Department of Corrections officer on Thursday testified that he personally saw what he described as crystal-like substance suspected to be meth inside a sealed Raisinets box brought into the facility by former DOC officer Brian Whalen. Whalen is accused of smuggling nearly 4 grams of meth to his inmate brother, Ezekiel John Whalen, hidden inside boxes of Raisinets at the Hagatna Detention Facility in May 2025. In other news, a tourist from China is accused of entering Andersen Air Force Base in Jigo and taking photos despite a sign indicating that photography is prohibited in the area, according to a magistrate's complaint filed in the District Court of Guam. The complaint was filed on February 20th. Bing Kung Feng is accused of entering military property and photographing a defense installation. The complaint stated Feng, on February 21, pleaded not guilty to the charges. Meanwhile, Guam police officers now trained virtually to improve safety on scene. The VR system is GPD's latest tool to improve its officers' ability to interact with a suspect or when being forced to deploy the use of a taser or firearm. The training is both safer and logistically sound because no deadly weapons or ammunitions are used in the training, GPD officer in charge of training and staff, Sergeant Jerry Santos, said. And that was your last look at local headlines on The Point. Now, back to Ray.
Okay, so a couple of things. You ended on public safety. So I got to do shouts to the men, and I presume some women, of the Guam Fire Department. I believe they were Guam Fire Department that were out yesterday walking up and down the roadway, the Challenge San Vitores, in battle gear, in their fire department gear. Not the suit. They weren't wearing the suit. But they did have the tank and the mask.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
did. They had
nice.
the tank and the mask. We were going from one end to the other. There was one guy that I saw that had the tank but was carrying the mask, and then there were a couple of guys that I saw that had the tank and had the mask on.
No, and I had to see, so I stopped at a corner.
You too, right? You
one,
saw it?
And yeah, and one of them looked at me, and it's an eerie when they're looking you through the mask, and I was like,
What's that?
You doing okay?
Yeah. So what is there something? Do I need a mask? Was there a leak of something? A chlorine leak or mustard gas or something along those lines?
That's
I don't know.
training, though. Great training.
It was. They used to do one where they would get all their gear together and they'd show up on the first floor of the Bank of Guam at the stairwell. And hustle up and then hustle back down because they're going to be there's always the possibility that they might have to enter we don't have skyscrapers here, but we have buildings that are higher than the snorkels can reach, so they might have to effect rescues and do firefighting from the stairwell.
And unfortunately, some of our buildings need the elevators aren't working right now. I mean, we're doing that now sometimes. So
did they fix the one over at GCIC building?
No,
has that one been fixed?
I don't think so.
Oh,
They're waiting for parts.
Waiting for parts.
They really are.
Yeah.
They really are.
So we can't, we can't be the guys that say, "Oh, public sector is better than the private sector."
Yeah.
It's not a Gov Guam building. Let me see. Michael Bolton is 73.
Wow.
His version of sitting on the dock of the bay. That was that was the big one that got him.
Way
got him
better
attention.
than Otis Redding.
And D. Ray Davis from 21 Jump Street is 44 years old. DeRay Davis. All right, 21 Jump. That's it. There's no hot chicks or anything here today. There was a hot chick story. Normally we would start off with a Florida woman, but in this case it was a 30-year-old Muncie, Indiana woman. In 1996 on this date, she needed to remove a callus from her foot, and she thought, I know, I'll shoot it off with a .410 shotgun. She told police later at the hospital that she'd been drinking heavily that day, and it seemed like a good idea. Does anybody have any of those? I'm drunk out of my mind. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
No medical insurance.
Yeah. Yeah. How many? You wake up the next morning in Vegas and you're married. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
It happens.
There it is. Chili Day, as in chili. Digital Learning Day. Fairy Tale Day. Digital Learning Day. I could make a plug for AI, but I'm already going to play my song, so I'll hold off on that. It's Fairy Tale Day, and I'm just the warning now. It's election year. You will hear a lot of fairy tales from people that are going to be asking for your vote. Learn to tell the difference between a fairy tale and BS and actual fact, and then ask them one reason. Give me one reason to stay. That's what I'm looking for. And I don't mean clean, schools and a good hospital and less crime and no homeless people and all of that. I don't care about that. You're supposed to do that anyway.
Stay for love.
Over and above that, give me one reason to stay. It's Introduce a Girl to Engineering Day, a Levi Strauss Day. And I like the Levi thing because it's got the rivets at the pockets, and they did that because back in the olden days, people had heavy tools, and they put them in their pockets, and the pockets would open up on the pants.
guy?
I'm
a button fly?
I'm a button fly guy. I'm a button fly guy, and even though I'm not gay, I like white Levi's.
There you go.
I've got 2 or 3 pairs of white Levi jeans. Yeah.
It's super tapered.
Yeah, but
skinny jeans.
Everybody else rolls around with jeans, but I like white jeans because they stand out, and I like to think that I can get a sexier match with my shirts with the white pants.
I can never keep them clean. There's no way.
That's the risk.
Lunchtime, breakfast.
So here's the thing: is number one, they are hard to keep clean, especially on chili day like today.
Yeah, sure.
And then the other thing is not every Levi's store sells white Levi's. They don't for some reason.
Oh yeah.
Macy's has white
They're
Levi's.
probably more expensive than the blue ones.
I
would guess.
I don't know. So Levi Strauss is like brand now, and so they're fairly expensive no matter what. I do want to get. Just because when I was a kid growing up, it was so macho to see guys with the Levi jacket. I mean, there's a cowboy aesthetic to that.
It's back. But you know what? Levi's is actually using a lot of data to make more decisions based on where the color brands, they're more jackets. So they're not making, they're not following the Gap model where, you went to every single store, you came in, they all looked alike. But one of the things that they're using now is the data. It shows that, certain blacks, colored shirts are say in Jigo, they're buying more black. So they're going to send more black.
I'll be darned.
And if it's less red, they're not going to.
They're send less red shirts out in that direction. Like I said, science is everywhere. It's Personal Chef Day. And if I had a personal chef, I think it would be awesome. They just make me different versions of the grilled cheese sandwich every day. I want today.
What a simple chef.
I want grilled cheese sandwich with hot dog, and tomorrow you can make me grilled cheese sandwich
Simple
with
Jack is your chef.
with spam. I just want somebody to cook it for me. That's what I'm asking for. I don't need you to impress me. You don't have to Anthony Bourdain me. I just want you to make me a sandwich, would you? It's Pistachio Day and Thermos Bottle Day. Thermos bottles from back in the day. Another Ray Gibson childhood story about growing up. And I had a G.I. Joe Aladdin lunchbox. Lunch pail, we used to call it back in the day. And it was a Aladdin thing, and it had the G.I. Joe imagery in the front. I think you can still buy it in the eBays of the world. I had that. And remember in the girls...
What did it put in there? Soup?
The milk or something in there.
SpaghettiOs.
Coke. We'll put Coca-Cola in there. Because you could never get Coke when I was a kid. That was a special treat. But unfortunately, they weren't rock solid. The thermos design, the inside of it was glass. It's like an insulation for your drink. And if you jarred the lunch pail just hard enough, the glass would break on the inside, and there was this sick feeling that you had when you reached for the open up a little lid thing, and you reach into your lunch pail and pull out the thing, and it's making this slushy noise because the glass broke on the inside. But the greater tragedy, and he's almost as old as I am, Chris Duenas will note that the other great tragedy of breaking the glass in your lunch pail was that you had to get the generic replacement. If you had a G.I. Joe lunch pail, it came with a G.I. Joe thermos in it. And when you broke the glass in it, Mom threw it away and then get you one with like a Scotch pattern or something on the
That's exactly.
You remember that? Never mind, I don't want it anymore. Throw it away. Throw the whole thing away and just give me a paper bag. It's not complete anymore, Mom. My G.I. Joe fantasies aren't coming true. Chris, are you there?
Yes, I am. No lunchbox for me, bro. Paper bag and tinfoil on my Diet Coke.
Oh, my God. Yes.
Or Diet Pepsi.
So when I stayed at Grandma's house, on the rare occasion that I'd stay at Grandma's house, and then they dropped me off at Cathedral Grade School in the morning. You remember where my grandmother lived. Anyway,
yes,
so
I do.
She would fix me cheeseburgers. She would make cheeseburgers hand-thrown with a slice of cheese on it and wrap that up, put it in the lunch box, in the lunch bag, a paper bag from Ada's or someplace. And then, she'd include a Coke in a can. And she'd wrap the Coke up in aluminum foil and put that in there, maybe an orange or a tangerine or something like that. Man, I was in heaven on those Mondays. That was just the greatest. Go to school. What are you eating for lunch? A hamburger that Grandma made for me with a little aluminum foil with the ketchup on the inside of that. Those were the days, man. Those were great memories, huh?
Man, I tell you, I always ate in the cafeteria, and whether I was here or stateside, staying with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that lunch I had for field trips, and so I would perplex me whenever I take out my tuna sandwich or my egg sandwich and a bag of chips or something like that in there, and then I would have my tinfoil around my soda, and I'm like, this soda's not cold. even though the tinfoil is wrapping, this soda, it's just the same temperature as the outdoor.
Yeah, but you didn't turn it down. You still drank it, right?
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
I was just happy that they loved me enough and took care of me enough. I think there might have been a wrap dessert in there, maybe a Twinkie or so, too. Yeah. So I'm a little bit plus size.
God, we grew up in the best version of like those years are never coming back, and it's too bad. I know what we were missing, and the kids growing up these days are never they'll never understand the kind of just crazy fun we used to have. You and your brothers and Rudy swing by the house all the time. We just go and terrorize Aganya back in those days. God, that was fun.
Yeah. You know, I was sitting around with a mutual friend of ours the other day, going over some things, and we were saying to ourselves, you know, we're looking at our grandkids now and our kids and everything else, and we're like, you know what? It's tough getting old, but I'm glad we grew up when we did.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, we really grew up in a time where you know, a bunch of kids around the house, everything was family. Everybody had to pull their weight, you know, because there was so much to do. But we had so much fun doing it, and the way we, you know, played outside, you know, swam in the river, played baseball, made teams and played baseball amongst family and friends, and everything else we did. Just that life was a good life.
Yeah, building models on Saturday morning after the cartoons, so much fun. 8:48, just reading comics with your boys. That was crazy fun. 8:48 in the morning. All right, gotta get out of that warm bath of nostalgia here. Oh wait, it's Charlie. That's it. That's all I got. You can stick around if you want to.
Charlie.
But I'm sure Charlie, likewise, now that he's not news guy, he can jump into the conversations. I got a note here this morning from the S&P Global Ratings. They have raised the long-term rating on GovGuam's GOB debt a notch. We are now BB. That's up from BB minus. Ratings on our business privilege tax and Section 30 revenue bonds are BB plus now from BB, and ratings on our appropriations-backed certificates of participations from BB minus, or I'm sorry, downgraded a notch from B plus. Oh, wait. No, so from B plus to BB minus. So the outlook obviously positive for Guam's credit ratings. And Charlie and you and I am sure come to the same conclusion. This is despite the 0.5% rollback, the 0.5% rollback of the business privilege tax, and you know, clearly the overpayments of certain funds derived from withholding taxes and business privilege taxes aren't having the impact that the governor's office said that it was going to have.
Yeah, absolutely, Ray. And once again, I pinged a guy, our guy. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And so I got that report, and so for the GO bond, that supposedly is long overdue. And then of course the others with Section 30 and BPT. You know, those are very popular. GO, we don't really do that much anymore because of the debt ceiling. So a lot of our big capex and the other stuff we're going out for are build, operate, transfer kind of setups, and so that situation doesn't affect the debt ceiling because the vendor carries the debt. So, but yeah, overall that markup right now and that grade is indicative of the fact that we remain stable, and this is one of the reasons why, Ray, this majority keeps talking about, and we're going into this budget session not only under performance-based budgeting, but we also want to ensure that what we're doing is we're going to definitely have to rein in spending and start doing the things that we need to do to bring efficiency to our government and not grow government. When we had our meetings so far, and they've been going very well on performance-based budgeting, you know, our budget director, Steve Guerrero, made it clear to every one of the agencies that came in, we cannot continue to grow the government. We have to stop at this point and make sure that we build efficiency in our government, live within our means, and continue to do what we need to do to support the funds that are coming in and put them to the proper purposes. And so I think that
can we do that?
What we're doing as well,
Senator? Can we do that and increase the number of services that the taxpayers will expect from the money that is going in and does get appropriated to these departments and agencies? You know that we're 80% plus on payroll, and that doesn't leave a whole lot left to actually get some work done and apparently get the parts that we need for pedestrian lights and traffic lights and et cetera. I mean, there's a long list of asks that the taxpayers expect from their government, and I'm glad that we're covering payroll. I'm glad that the retirement fund isn't screaming and yelling about short funding from the employees. But we sure could use a lot more by way of services in the government.
Yeah, so what we've been discussing a lot with when we talk about the performance-based budgeting as kind of a micro project right now, but on the macro level, really, where you're going to find the fact that you can cut in other areas and increase in operationals expenditures, which is giving the tools to do the job to the agencies and the people, right? Is you're going to find a lot of situations where, not in particular agencies, but in others, you're going to find a lot of over appropriations in payroll, and you're going to find a lot of budgeted vacancies and other things that normally pad budgets. And when you go forward, you can start moving that revenue over into the operational side. And where there is manpower shortages, here's another thing. Like yesterday, I hope it gets covered by the press. I know they're usually about a day behind on some of the articles in the afternoon when they probably watch the YouTube feeds on the hearings.
Yeah.
But yesterday with Parks and Rec, and I had them in on performance-based budgeting a couple of days ago, and in particular in a couple of areas, the Park Patrol, which has now become basically Park Police, they were demonstrating that they used ARP funds to build up that area and to be able to provide more security and protection and operations in the parks. And I've heard good things about a lot of the stuff they're doing. But then I mentioned about mission creep and what's happening. And so we talked about how the original funding for Park Patrol came from the Tourist Attraction Fund. And then now it went to General Fund. Then it grew under ARP, and now it's back to General Fund.
Ooh.
But in the meantime, GVB also increased its patrol. You know, they needed to in terms of making Tumon safer. But they also got now basically a duplication of that effort in terms of trying to keep the streets safe, in Tumon. So you look at a lot of these crossovers, and then Maulik hasn't been fully implemented right now. You know, on Park Patrol right now, they actually have 3 former police officers.
Well, they need more. They need a lot more guys. Ask me. The parks should be supervised 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There should be somebody in a uniform at Epal Beach Park 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And that's what we were talking about in terms of if you do that in the grand scheme of law enforcement. Then you're talking about the corpus of including everybody, and that's what Maulik was supposed to do. It's designed to basically say if you're under manpower 70% or below, you have to augment your force. And right now we're barely at 50%. So you're talking easily, between 200 to 225 officers. If you did that, you could do that in combination with GVB's patrol and Park Patrol, and you're not going to take Park Patrol to a 24 cycle because they're not going to have the budget for that at DPR. So you got to combine these efforts to make sure the whole island is covered, and that's what that was designed to do.
Get some work done on it. Get the research taken care of. Go ask Grok or Google or whatever to figure out how we're going to stretch the manpower and consolidate the financial resources into one place so that we've got uniforms of one kind or another visible to the tourists, visible to the residents, and visible to the thugs that go sit around and vandalize everything down there and drink all night and leave their crap out for somebody else to pick up. If we had a little bit more adult supervision these days, that would work because there's a whole lot of people that don't have the pride in the Guam that you and I grew up in, and it shows, unfortunately. Any talk now that this has come out about taking our credit rating out for a spin? Is it burning a hole in anybody's pocket? New hospital in Timoni?
First of all, I just want to go back to Senator Gubitato is the one that's been holding these hearings, and he's very the Post Commission is at the source of where we're working on this issue of getting Maulik going forward, and this can combine the resources that you're talking about. So those efficiencies are already being worked on, and we're going to carry that forward. But Senator Gubitato has been leading this effort as well. So as far as taking this rating out for a spin, I don't think that other than a possible refinancing, and I'm not sure which ones would be ripe or available right now. I don't know that any of our projects that we're looking at are ready, to go to market. So that will be the issue. I mean, hopefully Simon Sanchez will be, ready soon because this is going to be an opportune time to get out there and take advantage of that, as well as probably maybe in the next quarter we're going to see another reduction the way that, the Trump administration and the new, Fed rating guy and that team is in place. I think within the next couple of quarters, we're probably going to see maybe another quarter point or half point reduction. So it could be the sweet spot in a few months, but we got to make sure that we're ready to go to market.
Well, it's just that we need the folks over in Tumon are going to be asking for another bond with hotel occupancy taxes, another $60 million, I think is the figure I heard them talking about. And I know there's not a whole lot of appetite right now for that kind of thing. Governor's going to want a whole lot of money so that she can build a hospital. And so I'm wondering if anybody over at the governor's office is thinking maybe they can take that up for a spin and work with the legislature to find the funding, including going out to the market.
I think with the HOT, it's not necessarily about the appetite, because we know that there's a lot of improvements that need to happen. I think you're probably talking to some of the same people I'm talking to, and there's just major differences right now in terms of how to structure that and what to do. And so I think just the fact that there's not a lot of cohesion on how to execute that is the real problem. And so this, going out for money just to go out for money is a bad idea. You need to make sure you target those projects and there's buy-in.
Yeah, see, you're a lot more disciplined than I am. I got like 20 credit cards. I got into a green area on my credit rating, and I decided. I told Charlie this earlier this morning. Said as soon as my credit rating got to a certain number, I said apply for every single card I can get my hands on and start using them and mass up mileage. And that way, when it's closing in on my retirement years, I can do a little bit of travel on mileage that I've built up over the years. Dude, I'll talk to you pretty soon. Have a great weekend. I'm sure I'll see you out there somewhere.
You too, my friend, and Biba Mes tomorrow.
Biba. Yep, it's like that. And Carl with a K was listening, and he said guaca is pronounced guaca with a K, like Carl with a K.
Yeah, nice birdie.
Jeff Pleadwell online. Says overtaxed businesses sacrifice for GovGuam to grow without any improvements. To my point in the conversation with Chris, thank you very much. Oh yeah, there's all this money around here, and there needs to be a whole lot leaner and meaner and more efficient, but with an eye not so much on look at all my friends I have at the office is look how much more productive the government is. That's how we solve our problems, guys.
No, and Chris is really making a huge Senator. Chris is really making a huge push. I mean, to downsize the government. I mean, that's got to be priority because
but make sure that there are receipts. Make sure that there are results for the people that have been doing without for an awful long time. Kind of looking the other way or biting our lips when we want to scream and yell about the parks. And Jeff Blink had a good point here. I mean, he's right down the street from one of the parks down on his side of the island. Rebuild all the parks and privatize maintenance. Find somebody in there that's all they do. But you're going to run into problems with that as well. Even though we privatize it, that doesn't mean that all of our problems are solved. The guys that are going to be doing the maintenance have to find employees, and just like the private sector, just like everybody else, it's tough to hire. You come by the radio station, I may have to do the yard here because the landlord doesn't have a yard guy right now. It's 8:59 and change. All right, Charlie, that is enough out of you. Real Joe and I will take it from here and conclude the No Frowny Face Friday. We'll start with this hour, the 9 o'clock news from Fox.
She says she answered as fully as she could. I'm Lisa Lacera. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton questioned for over 6 hours by the House Oversight Committee.
But whatever they asked me, I did my very best to respond.
Telling them she has no information on Jeffrey Epstein and does not recall ever meeting him.
We learned a lot. There were a lot of questions that we asked that we weren't satisfied with the answers that we got, but we will continue to move forward.
Committee Chair James Comer, Ranking Member Democrat Robert Garcia told reporters earlier,
we should depose the person that is mentioned in the Epstein files almost more than any other person next to Ghislaine Maxwell, and that's Donald Trump.
Former President Bill Clinton expected to answer questions tomorrow. As the U.S. and Iran wrap up another round of indirect talks without a deal, just before they wrapped, Iranian state television reported Tehran was determined to continue to enrich uranium and rejected proposals to transfer it abroad, indicating it's not willing to meet President Trump's demands.
According to Oman's foreign minister, the man who was mediating these indirect conversations, there was significant progress made, and technical details, according to the foreign minister, are going to be discussed next week in Austria. And here in Israel, officials preparing for the possibility that war erupts in the days ahead. And so while there is initial optimism and the Iranians are telling their state media outlets that they will go back to the capital of Tehran and discuss the technical details. There is still a tension in the air across the Middle East, understanding that if these talks fail, the region is headed into conflict.
Fox's Trey Inks in Tel Aviv. Iran has said if the U.S. strikes Tehran, U.S. military bases in the region would be considered legitimate targets. America is listening to Fox News.
Start your new year right with Subway's Fresh Fit Collection. Built to fuel your day with better-for-you sandwiches. Each new Fresh Fit sub is packed with protein, stacked with a full serving of veggies, and under 500 calories. For a satisfying meal that won't weigh you down, try the ham and turkey stacker, clocking in at only 290 calories. Enjoy the light and filling turkey and ranch delight. Indulge in the craveable grilled chicken and avocado. Sink your teeth in the flavorful seasoned steak and avocado. Or go low carb. Turn any footlong Fresh Fit into a protein bowl. At Subway, eat fresh, feel good.
Some Maryland law enforcement officials say they oppose two bills that would curb ICE operations in the state.
Senate Bill 791 was introduced just days after Democratic Governor Wes Moore signed a law prohibiting state and local law enforcement from deputizing officers for ICE activity. Moore said that municipalities could still work with federal agencies in some capacity, especially when it comes to violent offenders. SB 791 is aimed at eliminating cooperation with immigration and customs enforcement agents from all local jurisdictions in Maryland. A different proposal, Senate Bill 660, would require law enforcement to respond to reports of ICE activity, observe, record what happens on body cameras, and file reports on it. Some Maryland sheriffs gathered at the state capitol on Wednesday to voice opposition to the bills, saying the legislation takes away local autonomy. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
The mayor of Newark, New Jersey, blames ICE for a multi-vehicle crash yesterday.
Newark Mayor Ross Baraka on social media says U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents tried to pull over a van. The driver sped off, and during the ensuing chase, there was an accident involving several vehicles, including one carrying 3 children. He says the driver of the van was injured and hospitalized. ICE has not responded or said why the van was being pursued. Mayor Baraka, in his post, points out New Jersey state law bans law enforcement from chasing vehicles unless a suspect poses an immediate threat. He writes, ICE has no business engaging in chases at any time, anywhere, but especially in densely populated areas and on roads still being cleared from a significant snowstorm. Chris Foster, Fox News.
A judge in New Orleans has ordered actor Shia LaBeouf to return to rehab and set a $100,000 bond. LaBeouf was in court today after his arrest last month. He was charged with 2 counts of battery after an assault outside a bar during Mardi Gras, where witnesses say he yelled homophobic slurs and hit multiple people at the bar near the French Quarter. He's not yet entered a plea. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
Lent is about making better choices, so why not make a delicious one? Wendy's Crispy Fish is back for the season. Made with a quality pollock fish fillet, fried golden and full of flavor, served as a warm toasted sandwich, or have a satisfying platter with fluffy rice and a fresh garden salad. It's a perfect Lenten meal that delivers, but it won't last forever. Available for a limited time only at Wendy's. Hafaloha Guam! Get ready to feel the island rhythm. The Hafaloha Concert Series Part 5 is coming to Ipoh Beach Park on March 6th, and the headliner is none other than J Boog. One epic night, live under the stars, singing every song with your friends, dancing to the beats island style. This is the concert everyone's talking about, and yes, it's worth it. Tickets are going fast, so lock yours in now at guamtime.net. Don't miss J Boog live on Guam March 6th. Hafaloha Concert Series Part 5.
Craving delicious dishes with local flavors? Look no further than Mezcla Bistro. From our juicy burgers to flavorful seafood food, and local fusion, every dish is made with love and the freshest ingredients. Join us for an unforgettable lunch, dinner, or decadent Sunday brunch. Visit us online at mezclaguam.com or call 671-479-2652 or 671-489-2653 to make a reservation. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro, a true taste of Guam.
It's true. 6 after 9. Ray Gibson Show being brought to you by APL American President Lines. A global presence with a local home. And
Real Talk Radio is back. The Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now. 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
I was going to say, and Guam Regional Medical City, they are your healthcare partners. That's okay. As I paused just long enough for Joe to say, I guess that's it. We're just going to do that one. Where were we? Where was it? 7 after 9, and looking over some of the commentary here. What have I got? RU Kaduku 671 says, GRT, an impediment to business growth. You mean it's not enabling? We're not enabling business growth, having a business privilege tax at 4.5%. Small businesses are faced with a 50% increase between 300,000 and above. 3% is greater than 4% is a massive barrier. Okay, and we've talked about this. We've had the conversation before, hey, listen, if it was me, no business privilege tax. I don't know. So, what do you get? Because I go to Charlie's place and put some money on a table, and then I get a beer in exchange for that. So I'm paying somebody for the quote privilege of doing business here on Guam, for taking my money, putting it at risk. And the time and the trouble and expense of getting things done, and much of that having to deal with regulatory nonsense.
That sounds like the mafia.
Yeah. Yeah. So
we're gonna get a piece of everything you do.
Oh, we'll take care of the streets. We'll use that money and we use that to take care of the streets, so the customers can get to your store, and we put that money into cops so that the second millennials don't steal. And burglarize your place in the middle of the night, and all of the other things, that the government is providing to us, to which I say, okay, well, I'm not satisfied. I want more. I'd like to get more of that kind of thing. You know what I'd like to have? Here, you want to use a business privilege tax or something to make my day? Pave the road that I have to go up to Channel 10. There's businesses up there, mine and 2 or 3 others. That do a lot of business up in that area, and I'm not talking about putting in lights and sidewalks and that kind of thing. It'd be nice, but just a little piece of roadway that I might be able to get up there, and it would like a bug of Mayor of Aston or something like that. But I'm just point is for all of the services that we expect to enable us to do business. I'd like to see more of those things from the government. Like I said, the guy said it's all about the government enabling businesses, and so there needs to be a view from the guys over in the big seats at the legislature about finding more ways to enable businesses and less ways doing away with the things that disenable, discourage. Why'd you say discourage? There you go. Barriers to excellence, as the man says. Anyway, so what have I got to take care of for the rest of this hour? I've been threatening to play the Ray Gibson ballad on the radio and on the visuals here for the last 2 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
And so basically anymore the thing that I go to AI for is a dopamine hit. I mean, every once in a while there'll be something that I can say, okay, I need this for my job, I need this for business. But the rest of it is just text to images and text to videos of hot panai chicks in bikinis, thick panai chicks in bikinis, and just for the dopamine hit. Do the same thing with other searches, seeing if AI can craft a program for me or an app for me that will make my life better one way or the other. And then the occasional. Somebody sent me something this morning. It was marked top secret It's a CIA report about the Marianas going back to the early 70s. And it's basically pictures of pages. So a little bit later on, I'm going to send that up to social media. I'm sorry, not social media. I'm going to send that to Gemini or Grok or maybe both. Ask it to take the pictures, do OCR on them, put them in order, and give me the report, and then give me its analysis of the report, things I need to look out for, and maybe things that it looks like it points out issues that impacted the island as a young territory back in those days. And I'm kind of curious to see how many of those issues that impacted Guam in the late 60s, early 70s, politically, economically, are still issues today. Somebody had written, sent me a copy, I don't know, a month or two back about it was a PDN, Pacific Daily News. At the time, I think it was Guam Daily News, but it was an article that was written in the very first days of tourism, very first days of the hospitality experience here on Guam. And it was interesting reading, if for no other reason, that they had surveyed some of these early, brave pioneers, Japanese, that had come to Guam in the small days of tourism here, and you think you got to go back. And my friends that I hang out with at the beach are probably tired of hearing me talk about, when I was here, when I was a little boy. But when I was a little boy in the first days of tourism, there were no hotels down in Tumon. There was one store. It was the Happy Landing store. That's why it was, because the Happy Landing store at Happy Landing. That was it. There wasn't much by way of a road either back in those days. There were still people, lots and lots of people that lived in the Tumon area, folks with property and little ranches, if you will, houses, the little pretty hamlets that we had out here. Maybe one or two apartment buildings once Al Israel started building down here, but there was nothing. There was no hospitality infrastructure. Yet there were airplanes, Pan Am flights coming in from Japan. And these guys would get off the airplane, and there was really only a couple of hotels that they could stay at. It was an Old Cliff Hotel up in Agana Heights near the governor's house. It was a place called Sleepy Lagoon in the Doncas Beach area. Might have been one or two, but I just don't have a recollection of too many of these places where people could just, where there was a front desk, and keys and elevators and, little coffee shops and bars. That didn't start growing up until I was, 10 years old, 11 years old back in the day. So they were brave old folks, they'd ask them. They did exit interviews, and they did interviews. The journalists would go and meet up with these guys and ask them questions in broken Japanese and listening for broken English responses. And there were similar issues that we deal with today. We didn't have a whole lot of graffiti back in the olden days, but we used to have a gang of bicycle thieves in Tamuning called the Tamuning Stingers, and everywhere you went, there was a T with an S over the top of it, and that for a lot of guys was them marking their territory. It was a little bit of an interesting thing. Oh, the thugs have been around here, but there wasn't too much of that, is my recollection. But we had litter back in those days, and the Japanese sure noticed that. You know how sometimes it feels like there's no place to go to get something to eat or do a whole lot of shopping. And there was a time where the only duty-free office that we had here was in the old Guam International Airport. And that's where you went to get chewing gum and Lay's made out of chewing gum and candies for the flight. That was it. It was such a genteel time. Don't you remember that, Joe? When we were kids, go to the airport to pick somebody up, we'd get dressed to go to the airport. We get dressed to get on the airplane, and if you were flying anywhere, you went to the little shop they had at the old airport, and you'd buy yourself a Lay with gum in it, so you get chew gum when the airplane lands.
Big lollipops,
the big lollipops. And books. You'd buy books, for the airplane ride, because the closest thing was they'd show an actual film movie on the airplane. That was the big deal. We didn't have something that you plugged your iPad or your phone into and watch TV streaming 1,000 channels from the head end in the airplane. Absolutely crazy time. when I was growing up. But the same, the same things that the tourists are complaining about now, they kind of complained about back in those days as well. It was an interesting look back. Quarter after 9 o'clock in the morning. I want to say that I've been through everything. Who's on the phone? Is it
Dr. Akimoto?
Okay, what is Dr. Akimoto, and then I'm going to play the ballad of Ray Gibson.
There you go.
Yeah, the ballad, and it was just, a little bit of an ego stroke. You ever do that when you're surfing the
Of course.
You ever look for your name? Just Google yourself?
Yeah.
Just see what the world has to say about you?
So many.
9:16 in the morning. Dr. Vince Akimoto
We
on
don't
the
have
line.
a jingle for him, Ray?
I did not yet make a
we're
jingle for
working on
Dr. Vince Akimoto. Buenas and Holiday, Doc. Welcome to No Frowny Face Friday.
Day, Ray. Thanks for clarifying that it is no Front Face Friday. But you were remembering about some of the old, hotels, the original hotels of Guam. And I have this very childish recollection of a hotel in, I guess now we call it Mighty, near where the Calvo compound is now, where the Staywell headquarters is, where Gold's Gym used to be. I believe in that general area. In fact, it might actually be more closer to the other side of the road because things change. There was a family called the Cepedas who had built a hotel to accommodate a lot of the new travelers to the Guam airport in the 50s, and I guess it was into the 60s. I'm imagining it was up until right around...
Was it the Micronesia Hotel?
Yeah, I think so.
It's a Micronesian hotel. Yeah. It's it was little bungalows, if you will, little tiny houses that people lived in. Famous in 1983 because when the Adriatico Elliptico and what's his name that shot up the island that summer, that's where they ended up. The two survivors shot the one guy and hanging around his body all day, and the police, the dragnet led them there, and that's where they were finally captured.
Okay,
Elliptico, Adriatico, and Marquez.
Yeah, that's one. Those were the. I mean, when people talk about how bad crime on Guam is, back then Guam was one of the murder capitals of the world, and I think we do need to reflect on how the impact of heroin and the drug trade may have created that part of that spree, because those guys were heavily involved in the crime and the gangs, because those innocent Tuman stingers eventually evolved into maybe a much more dangerous form of gang. And there were people like the Sinahanya Banditos and the Aganyay drunkards and the Toto Nomads.
Yeah,
so
the
there,
Nomads.
Right. There's a lot of things that happened that wasn't so sweet, but might make a great Netflix series one day. But this is No Frowning Face Friday. Yeah. So going back before the murders, a family of entrepreneurs built a hotel because they saw that there was a hole in the tourism industry because it didn't exist, and they created one of the first locally owned hotels on Guam. I mean, that's the whole point. Apparently, it was run by a mother and a father and a bunch of kids, and these kids grew up to eventually start a restaurant that became very famous for a period in time. But I forgot the name. Oh, Ecocina. Ecocina was at one point one of the most popular local restaurants to go to, and I'm sure they did other things before that, but now the latest incarnation, and I'm glad that I might be telling you something you may have forgotten. I know you know this, but the Cepedas eventually became the owners now of ERC. So they're the C.
That's my jam. I remember back in the Sheraton when there was the Rockstar Disco that eventually, I believe, turned into their Ecocina, and I loved the food there. I loved going there. The only problem that I ever had, it was the servings were huge at the place, so they'd come out.
Yeah, that's the problem.
They would, yeah, but relatively inexpensive comfort food, and they'd come out. It's a family operation, comfort food, and they would bring like you were eating at your own house. You piled that plate up high, you just loaded it up, and then they'd put it on your plate. And I'm sitting there going, my God, after I'm done with this, I'm going to fall asleep because there's just so much of it.
You know how you can tell that they're a hardworking family, right? Just like the Sengils, who are famous for Harmon Mart. They're all skinny. They're all in great. They're busting their butt in the kitchen to make that kind of thing happen, right? So, and then the mom, I don't know if you know her, but she just passed away, I think, 2 years ago. But she lived to be 90. So the hard work pays off. You get a great family, and you live a long, and productive life. And the point of the call is, I think you're touching on something important. Tourism has been with us for a long time. And from its inception, there were local people investing and making it happen. I remember there was something called the Holiday Inn in Chalampago. I never went in there, but I was always wondering if that was a real Holiday Inn.
Yeah, it was.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. It looked kind of like the place where if you had a Chatma, that would be where you would take her.
No, the Micronesia Hotel was one of those as well. Micronesia Hotel was a Chatma location.
Yeah, but the one in Chalampago was just a little bit
it's for sure.
well placed for that kind of village corruption. You know what I'm saying?
Village corruption. I like that phrase.
You didn't have to have a car, right?
No.
You didn't have mass transit, so you just had to walk there.
Solid memory there. Yeah. I remember there was one of the things on the way to school, on the way to Ta'i when I was growing up there, and it was the building was still around even up to around the time I went to Father Duenas. I was reminiscing about the old FD years. I've been asked to MC the Song Fest this year, and I'm not sure what criteria they chose me on, what it was based on, but other than the fact that I was a part of the first graduating class that lost the the Song Fest. Did you win your year?
No, we didn't even really understand what it was about. So, the Song Fest has really become this monstrosity. Back in the day, it was something you did at 4:00 in the afternoon, and no one showed up. We had to miss the bus down to Agania just to participate. So it wasn't really a big part of our culture, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. The Song Fest was something that I remember when they brought it up and said we were going to do this. And frankly, the only reason why we bent to the suggestion was because they got Frank Bloss Jr. to convince us that we were going to do the Song Fest, and he's always been a little bit of a leader for our class. And when he said, "Guys, we're doing it," all right, fine, capitulate, and we did, because otherwise it was. I thought it was just a girls' school thing.
I think you're right. You were absolutely right on. Hey, as long as you mentioned Frank Bloss Jr., he's running for governor, and right now he's the Speaker of the legislature. And I'm just going to have to end this note on a little bit of a thunderclap. Frank, Senator, Speaker, sir, you got to get your people into emergency session because the hospital is on fire. Dr. Jolene Uggan has failed to fix the electrical panel. Apparently, they had some walkthrough that nobody knew about, with two contractors who apparently, remain nameless. This whole process is going into March, where the hospital's gone on fire 4 times. I'm speaking to you, Senator, Speaker Bloss. You need to call the Senate legislature into emergency session. You need to deal with this now. You gave Jolene Uggan $80 million to fix the electrical panel, and she has failed. I'm looking at the parking lot where they're building. I haven't seen a contractor do any work there for 4 days. So, even to just build a stupid 36-slot parking lot, which, I don't know who asked for that. They can't get their act together. They can't get the contractor to show up at 9:30 in the morning on a Friday. So, boo on them. I'm not kidding, Frank. This is not a labor of love. You got to do your job now, because if you expect to be the governor of Guam, you need to fix GMH now.
The same people that will rightfully say that Josh is a representative of this administration has little to show for it. The same blame can be casted at the legislature, and whoever's holding the speaker's gavel can get painted with the same brush. I hear exactly what you're saying. 9:24. Vince, I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks for the memories. The Micronesia Hotel from back in the olden days, and Holiday Inn out on Route, of all places, the middle of Route 4 back in those days, and that's what we had to choose from. Crazy old times. 9:24. All right, now I promised that I was going to play it, and like I said, it's just a little dopamine hit. I had not asked Sonu to make me a song in a couple of days, and so I was a little bit bored yesterday. That in-between time, too late for coffee, too early for beer, and so I was sitting on the couch and asked it to make, how did I term it? A 60s ballad, spoken word, military choir with male vocals, and soaring language for the Ray Gibson, the ballad to Ray Gibson.
Ray Gibson's a living legend. 45 years and counting on the air. Through typhoons and blackouts, nothing could ever shut him down. Even in the darkest of times, Ray was always there. He did it all without a smartphone or social media. He even built his own studio and turned it into the best on the island. His show was always a safe place for all the big shots to come and tell the truth. And he's still the only one who can get them to open up. He was the first to put the whole show online and on YouTube. Ray always knew how to give the people what they wanted. He started on a radio station on the military base and turned into the most trusted voice on the island. Now, here we are, 45 years later, and the one thing we know for sure, Ray Gibson's a living legend.
Dang it! Did it nail me? Except the thing about the bass.
God, it made you sound like Conan the Barbarian.
It's got that kind of
a conqueror.
Hunt for Red October feel to it. Absolutely, absolutely. So like I said, it's...
God, I'm jealous. That was good.
But I'm trying to figure out where it got all that stuff.
You did good, AI.
Yeah. Yes, excellent job for today, AI. We add that to the portfolio, the growing body of information. I was going to play the other one. I was going to play the one from what do you call it that we'd come up with about the water, the boil water thing. The update.
The Dildren.
Yeah, the Dildren song. Wait a second. Okay, I get it. It wants me to sign into the thing, and I'm too lazy to sign in. So I might get around to doing that one there a little bit later on. But I just like, as usual, a demonstration on where all of this stuff is going in the future. It's maddening. We're yakking about this. I was waiting for the comments. Catherine's sending me the oh my God, the diagonal laughing emoji. Vern Bates says cringe.
What?
And then he's using the vomit emoji. Donna Marie laughing and sending Valentine like living legend. All right, so that's enough of that, or not. I don't know. Play it again before we go.
It was good, man.
Just get the instrumental.
Dude, I would listen to that before I work out, man,
right?
if I was you.
9:27 on the Ray Gibson Show. The good gravy. The song needs its own altar boy, says Smug. Thanks, buddy. But just as a display of the capabilities, Jerry Roberts was saying before long, he says our kids, the next generation, they're going to grow up in a world where there are no real movie stars anymore. They're going to grow up in a world where you've got characters that are AI-generated, voices, bodies, features that are AI-generated, and they will interact with other actors that don't exist either, with the script and the characters and the special effects and all of that stuff will take place in computers. It's going to take place. Hollywood will cease to exist. I don't, and in the version that I've got in my head, I don't know that there will be so much like special features. I mean, unless you got a really, really good director, unless you got somebody that's really, really tweaking the AI and telling really, really interesting stories with really, really interesting characters that you'll either love to love or love to hate in the AI developments. It's like, can you imagine what somebody like Spielberg or another version of Spielberg can do? And I said, Jerry, it's not the next generation. It's going to happen now. It's going to happen now. You can, with very basic prompts, get Grok to give you a video, and they've upped it now. When they first started, it was just images, and then they got videos. It was 6-second videos, and now Grok will do 10-second videos. So, and this is in the space of like 6 months. Can you imagine what another year is going to bring us as they start using AI to develop more AI? You will be. I'm imagining a time where you will be able to come up with a plot. Maybe it's something. Some kind of comic book, 8th grade, whatever writing. Use that as a prompt to develop characters and tell the stories, and press a button on your AI. Come back in 20 minutes, and there's a 2-hour movie based on those prompts. And you don't like it? Press the recycle button and come back in another 20 minutes, and there'll be a whole other version of it. And as much as it's a Friday in Lent. As much as I think this will make entertainment interesting in the future, I think, like all major media technical upgrades, You know who's going to develop it? Who's going to develop that? Porno industry.
God.
The porn industry is going to develop it, and then you will be able to make your own porno with all of your favorite kinks and all of the weird things that you go on. You know, like, can you imagine for like Jerome, a whole movie with nothing but feet? Know what I mean?
Yes.
Just,
I know what you mean.
It would be like the camera's on the
God,
floor.
that's sick, man.
The camera's on the floor, and you got all the sounds and the different sound effects and whatever. But it will all be shown from the perspective of the feet. What's that? We ride it. Dawn says, Tattoo Shauna. What the hell was that? It's AI. It's just crazy fun. What can I say? Anyway, 9:31 in the morning. The other point that Jerry was going to make is, oh, my God, we'll never be able to trust ourselves again. We're never going to be able to. Somebody's going to show us a picture. Somebody's going to show us a video. And that's going to be, we'll say, okay, is that real or was that something that came out of a computer? A few years back, they had a video, AI-generated video, of Will Smith eating spaghetti. And for some reason, that is kind of a benchmark on the development, and it was clunky. It's like looking at 8-bit computer games from back in the day, and now they look like movies. And it's the same thing with AI. Is they've gotten very, very good, and now the video of Will Smith. The video of Will Smith eating spaghetti now looks like Will Smith eating spaghetti. 9:32, and I got a thumbs up from former Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez. He says, "Oh God, I love it." Hey, I'll do one for you, Unc. I'm going to do one for you. I'm going to change it out and do one for Uncle Carl. Dave Alcorn says, forget the eulogy. You have one already. Thanks. Great. Now all I got to do is die.
Dude,
Now,
if you so want it, Ray, I'll make sure it's played, man. If that's your wish.
but it can't be living legend anymore. Can't be. Carl. Carl is a living legend.
That's true.
God. Okay, I'm gonna see what it can do while the news is playing, Unc. It's 9:32. I'm gonna grab a break and come back with the ballad of former Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez.
Buenas and Hoffaday Guam, I'm Jonathan Charfris. Here's a look at 3 stories you need to know for Friday, February 27. The government of Guam has recovered $1.6 million stolen in a cyber attack targeting the judiciary of Guam and the Department of Administration. According to officials, a known judiciary email account was hacked in what's known as a spoofing attack, allowing criminals to disguise themselves as a trusted source and send fraudulent instructions to divert routine interagency fund transfers to an off-island bank account. The crime remains under active local and federal investigation with limited details being released. DOA Director Edward Burns says once the government was alerted to the breach, security protocols we have in place were quickly activated. He added the recovery was possible because once the breach was known, quote, all the right moves were made to have the money returned to the government of Guam. Officials say the theft was carried out entirely in cyberspace and are reminding the public when it comes to online crime, if you suspect it, check it. Governor Lilian Guerrero is spotlighting Guam's strategic and economic role at the Pacific Agenda Summit in Honolulu. The governor highlighted Guam's position as a national security linchpin and the gateway to Pacific prosperity, pushing for investment in telecommunications and AI, port and supply chain infrastructure, energy security, tourism, and stronger health and food systems. The administration says aligning local priorities with federal and private sector partners will drive long-term growth and resilience for Guam and the region. And the Department of Corrections welcomed a new class of officers into its ranks Thursday. VCOT 2025-02 officially graduated during a ceremony held at Dusitani Resort's Grand Ballroom. Leading the class was Commander Jude Leonguero, with Taro Takusami serving as Gideon Bearer. Squad leaders included Iona Lizama Evangelista, James Kitagawa, Zaira Lee Nicario, each guiding their respective teams through the academy. The graduates completed intensive instruction focused on security operations, inmate supervision, emergency response, and professionalism within Guam's correctional system. Department leaders said new leaders step into their roles at a critical time, helping strengthen staffing levels and reinforce safety inside correctional facilities. For these stories and more, go to KUAM.com. You can also watch our news stream on our YouTube channel or Facebook page. And for the latest updates, go to KUAM News on Instagram. Jonathan Charfis, KUAM News.
Some things are worth the wait. Wendy's Golden Fried Shrimp is back, and it's the perfect Lenten meal. Crispy, golden shrimp made with quality ingredients. Served up as a warm sandwich or a healthy platter with rice and a fresh salad. It's a lighter, better option that still feels indulgent, but don't get too comfortable. It's only here for a limited time. Good decisions never tasted this good. Only at Wendy's.
Welcome back to Nissan Guam. Deal get to decide which you want Nissan Guam to make. 3 months or 6 months of your car payments on your next new Nissan vehicle.
Both offers sound so good. Let's see. I'm going for the 6 months.
Great choice! And you too can get your own deal of the year. See Nissan Guam first today.
Yes, carbon-based computers. Morse code hearts be floating through, says Vern Bates. Okay, gotcha. So indulge me another one. I don't know. I'm doing it on the fly. I haven't even heard the. I just told Suno to make me the song using the same criteria, 60s bass spoken word ballad with what do you call it, with the military choir in the background for Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez of Guam. So give me a second to get this thing up on the screen so that I can see it and then hit the play button. And it's called "For a Long Time We Were Islands." So it gave it a title, but I again don't know what it actually sounds like. Is there?
There are times when the fate of the people is placed in the hands of one man. We found that man on the islands of the Marianas, on the islands of Guam, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, where for a long time we were islands.
On the islands of the Marianas, on the islands of Guam, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, for a long time we were islands. We were islands.
We found our voice in a man named Carl T.C. Gutierrez, a proud son of the island of Guam. We know him as the best governor this island has ever known. A man with a mission. And that mission was to build our island. To build our island into the island of tomorrow. To make our island strong.
Make our island proud.
Make our island proud.
Make our island our own.
Make our island strong.
Make our island strong.
Make our island proud.
Make our island proud.
Make our island our own. His plan was simple. We needed jobs. We needed homes. We needed to keep our people on our island for a long time. We were islands. We were just islands.
On the islands of the Marianas, on the islands of Guam, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, for a long time.
We were islands.
Yes, Unc. I'll send it to your WhatsApp now. We'll send that to you.
That was very heavy Elvis time. Dude.
Wow. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
The heavy Elvis, man.
So
The
many
passion.
feels. Did you get goosebumps? Were there?
Absolutely.
Wow. What
Still
a thing.
the one.
Still, that's the only thing is it missed. I didn't put that in there. Sorry, Unc. Maybe I'll do another version where it uses that phrase. You're still the one.
God, I'm proud of being from here again, Ray.
Right?
Dude, thank you.
It's like election year. Oh, it is election year. This is so awesome. And there is at least one group. There's at least one outfit here that is using AI for their jingle. I'm not going to say who it is, but when you hear it, you'll go, oh, that's what Ray was talking about, using exactly that service. 20 away from the top of the hour. And as I said earlier, the folks over at the JIT, whatever it says, be cautious of AI-generated deep fakes. Sense the glitch, verify the source. The message encourages the community to look beyond viral content and watch for technical flaws common in AI-generated media. And they say this is what you should look for in order to sense the glitch. The hand effect. Extra fingers, missing joints, hands that appear distorted, or melting into objects.
There you go.
It's the nature of the tool where it's predicts what's going to happen next. It will predict if you tell it to do an image. It starts off with an image that you ask for, and then the prompt tells it what to do, or it comes up with a prompt and tells it what it should look like next, or what it may look like next. And sometimes, with AI, you get these little hallucinations. I've got one where I've got it's like people on the beach, people sitting on the beach, and the bodies kind of morph into each other. Like in that Satanic movie from back in the day. Anyway, so watch out for hands or something. Biological inconsistencies, unnatural blinking, mismatched skin tones between the face and neck or teeth that appear as a single white block. It's what the cops look for when they pull over these the tweakers.
Yeah.
Exactly
the
that.
telltale signs.
The telltale. Yeah, exactly. Audio visual lag, lip movements that don't sync with hard consonants like P, M, B. One of the other, it's not on this list, but it will. I have found sometimes that there are phrases that it likes to do. This might be one of the first songs that I've asked it to do that doesn't mention coffee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's got crutch words, huh?
Yeah, crutch phrases, crutch words that it likes to go into. Environmental warping, backgrounds that shimmer or distort when a person moves, accessory flickers, jewelry, glasses, or hats that flicker, shift, or blend into the skin. These are just some of the things, telltale signs, as they say, that what you might be watching is AI. And now that that's out in the open, the AI will say, okay, I just won't do that anymore. You won't see those things anymore. I'll be able to hide them. Thank you, human. 942 is on the phone.
David Okada.
Hey, I know that guy.
He's a sand artist.
Right. Well, perfect. That's a great way, great concept. All right, so I'm telling everybody this needs to be a beach weekend. It's like all 3 days are supposed to be either mostly sunny or partly cloudy skies. Hey, Dave, how you doing?
Hey, okay. Thanks, Ray, for calling and contacting us.
Oh, no problem. I was hanging out with the guys that came out last year for the Sand Sculpture Day down at EPAL Beach. That was so well attended. So many people out there, and it was nice to see all the different groups that got together under their own little shelters and built up their own sand sculptures. Is that going to be along the same lines this year?
Yeah, but it's a little different and much downscaled because and it is a spinoff of what they did.
Okay.
This is part of the Guam Nikkei Association initiative with the Japan Council of Guam and the Japan Club of Guam. What we wanted to do was indoctrinate something that has Japanese and Chamorro culture into an event. And believe it or not, Peter Onodera, who was one of our members, suggested the Sand Sculpture Festival.
Okay.
So it'll be a small event for now because we're just jump-starting this thing, and then we want to see how the interest goes. But it's not, although the community is invited, the target audience of participants are actually kids from ages 10 to 13 as one category, and ages 14 to 17 in one category.
Okay.
And entry is free. Okay. And so what they're going to do and compete when they turn in their registration, of course, the parents will have to turn in a waiver form and an application form because they're under 18 years old, is that they're going to be looking at creating sculptures for like a most culturally representative of the Chamorro culture would be one category. And most culturally representative of the Japanese culture as another category.
Ooh.
And then the third one is most reflective of environmental sustainability. So that's the three major categories. And two other categories that they will also be winning. It could be like the people's choice. So all those who are observing will have a chance to vote for their favorite one, whether it be one age group or the other, but there will be only one winner for that. And then there's going to be an honorable mention where the judges will choose just one team that has impressed them the most. Okay, and these kids for ages like
I got a
10 to
feeling that
13.
everybody's going to win a prize.
Yes, the prizes are for them. Not only will they just get a certificate, again, this is low end, but we've also been managing through the Council General of Japan to have supplemental awards. So like ages 10 to 13 for each of these categories of the top three categories, Japanese, Chamorro, and environmental. The age 10 to 13, there will be only one winner. They will earn a supplemental prize of $250 for the team. For the ages of 14 to 17, they will earn or win $300 for that team. And then for the People's Choice, the top winner will get $100, and the top winner for the honorable mention will get $100. So all of this is donated through the Japan Council of Guam, who was able to partner with us in this effort.
Do you have any other sponsors? I mean, for prizes and stuff? I'm thinking this would be like a natural for Donkey Village or something.
Yes, we have, but because we're on a strict timeline now, and next time if we are going to do this again, we'll plan it more. But we had a commitment to do something in March, and so we're at where we're at. But the partners that we have now is not only the Japan Club of Guam, we also have the Japan the Council General, the Japan Club of Guam, Guam Visitors Bureau, who just recently approved a partial grant for us to sponsor this event. Of course, we have Ambrose, who will also be an in-kind sponsor.
Beer.
PDN, no beer, sodas and drinks, but it's mostly for the participants at this point. But we're trying to get a food truck for the people who would want to eat in time. And we'll talk about the timeline in a minute. We also have PDN, Post, and TriVision, who is advertising this for us. And we'll do a better job next time, because if you read the newspaper, there wasn't enough information that I just gave you now. So we'll do a better job in the write-up, because we thought the application was going to be attached. And that's where all the details are.
Okay, so there's still time. I will send you a link to our calendar here on the Points website, and you can put all of the information that you need to link to a website, maybe link to the application form, and so I'll help you out as much as I can. I'm crazy about events like this. I was a little boy that grew up on Guam. I like to build sandcastles at Ipao Beach with my buddies and dig little holes in the ground and imagine, those little soldiers and things like that when I was kids. So I'm happy to see that this is going to continue again. And for next year or next time you do it, bring me in early. I'm crazy about this. And Wolf, I got 3 radio stations. We'll help you promote the heck out of it. And maybe we'll talk about helping you get some cool prizes. I mean, money's always great. But like I said, Tomodachi card from Donkey or someplace like that. Some cool Japanese. We'll go hang out at Izakaya by Jimmy. And there's a whole lot more fun things that we can do other than just with the sand. So reach out to me early. I'll see if I can beep you something today.
Awesome. And that's a great idea. Let me just add one more partner.
Yeah.
The Center for Island Sustainability and Sea Grant and Guam Green Growth is also partnering with us.
Excellent. And I'm happy to partner with them.
Lineup for this year. Yeah, as short a fuse as it is. So let me tell you a little bit more about this thing, because these age groups, we're going to, once we get the teams together, we're going to have what we call a quote-unquote mandatory meeting for them, so we can outline the parameters of how they're going to do things. Registration deadline is March 4 for these packets, and then the mandatory meeting at EPA will be on March 7 at 10 a.m. So those teams will be notified once they get their applications in. It is a team of 3 people, okay? And we're lining up judges. I don't know, Ray, if you want to be a judge, we can recruit you in. But there's judges for each of the 3 categories, and there's be at least 3 to 4 judges in each category.
I don't want to be a judge, because if the losers will hate me, and they won't listen.
Hi, Sus. Okay. But this is all for fun. I think it's going to be a great event. It'll be a fun day. It is going to be a short event because the registration will start at 9 a.m. And all we're doing at registration is we're just revalidating the teams that applied beforehand. And then at 9:30-ish, we'll have a welcome remarks. Between 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., these teams will have only 2 hours to sculpt what they have in mind for the category they signed up in. And so they're going to have to practice before the before the event. That's why we want to have a meeting with them to make sure that they understand the rules of engagement, go to the beach the weekend between, and practice, because they got only 2 hours to finish whatever they have in mind to do.
I feel the pressure already.
Yeah, pressure, but it's all fun, Again, it is low end, and then hopefully by 1 o'clock we'll crunch the numbers, have the ceremony at 2 p.m., and then we recover after that.
Like
the
like the recovery idea. You'll find me over at the Ambrose tent. It's 9:50 in the morning. Dave, I just sent you the link to submit an event on the website. Get it to me with all the information that the link is going to be asking you for. We'll be able to take banners and links to your application and all the other information that you just gave me, and that will be on the website until the day of the event, so we can get as many people as possible either participating in the contest or going down there to observe and support the kids.
Great. That's so wonderful. Thanks, Ray.
Anytime.
So right now we're in the recruitment phase, so families out there who have kids between ages 10 to 13 and 14 to 17, come on down, get the application in. There is Monica Guzman and my email and phone numbers available for any questions they may have. And we're ready to receive.
Okay. Get the information to me, and as soon as you send it, I will approve it, and folks will be able to get more information at thepoint.gu.
Thanks. Thanks, Ray. We really appreciate this.
Next time, call me first.
Okay.
For the Japanese community, the answer is almost always yes.
Yes. Okay, so, Ray Gibson, we're going to put you as a partner.
Okay.
Hey,
appreciate it. Okay, I'll talk to you pretty soon, David. Yes, sir.
Thanks, Ray. Take care.
I will. Promise. And hug and a kiss to Mary. The one that's running wants to be next Lieutenant Governor of Guam. 9:52. Who's on the phone now?
JP, retired police.
What did I do?
It's not what you did.
It's what I didn't do. What? Do I take this call?
You should, man.
A couple of thoughts here. And somebody watching the thing heard me play that song that I made for Uncle Carl on the thing. Says, got to bring the sunshine back. So 2 phrases I got to put in for the next rebuild of that is sunshine and still the one. And then the other one is he says, translate the song into Chamorro. Which AI can do.
To do that.
Which AI can do. However, I tried this out once upon a time, and I asked it to do "Good Golly Miss Molly," translate that into Chamorro, and it kind of sort of did in that there were actual Chamorro words, but my Uncle Robert Underwood said it doesn't make literal rock and roll sense, so I might need to try something else. 9:53. Okay, well let's bring JP to the call. Hey JP, happy Friday, buddy.
Yeah, this is JT Ray.
Go ahead.
I got drafted for the U.S. Army in 1967. When I got out, I joined the Guam Police in 1969, 1970. I was one of the ACD at Micronesia Mall. Remember the ACD? Fred Diego?
No, I can't remember that. What's the ACB? What was that?
SCD, Special Enforcement Unit. SCD.
Okay.
Special Enforcement Division.
Oh, okay. Special Enforcement, SED. Okay, I didn't catch that part. All right. So that you and Fred did that?
Yeah, and Caldwell got wounded as he attempted to local over to the building.
Oh, you know what? This is why I'm confused, because you're talking about Micronesia. You said Micronesia Mall, but you meant Micronesia Hotel. I remember that. They shut down Route 8 was shut down. Roy T. Damien was shut down, and you couldn't get onto that piece of property. And that's what I heard is there was a guy that got Magodai and went for the door, and they took a shot at him.
That was during, what's her name? Director... What's that lady's name?
Was that Judy Guthert's time?
Judy Guthert. I was there. Judy Guthert and SCD. I was assigned to SCD, and also we handled the Harbor Patrol. Remember the Harbor Patrol?
Well, so the summer of 1983 is when that happened, and that ties up with a whole lot of my memories. And yeah, one of them was the fact that these guys. I mean, they what did they shoot up first? It was the Philippine Scouts, and they
up in Harmon.
yeah.
Up
So they
in
went
Harmon.
after, started shooting that place up, and I was gonna. Did they not? Wasn't Raymond Sanchez? Wasn't he one of the victims as well?
I think so. Right after that, remember the SCB that was killed? I mean, the narcotic unit.
I'm trying to remember. You know, Klitsky would remember all of this. You know, off the top of his head. But my recollection is, so they were shooting the place up, and then they killed a couple of cops. The guy and the girl, and that was, I want to say that was not too far away from my house. Killed those guys, and then. Anytime you saw a police officer, they had their sidearm for sure. And I saw more than one guy, a couple of guys on motorcycles. Everybody was on patrol, and everybody was out looking for these three guys. And it was common to see submachine guns and shotguns strapped to the backs of some of these police officers. They took out a couple of their own, and the police were not going to have it. But they were on the lam for quite some time, weren't they?
Yeah, it's almost like three weeks. We were chasing them around over to Agat cockfight.
I remember.
Because, they're looking for Filipino, because Filipinos they like to go to a cockfight, right?
I suppose.
Their intention was to go down to Agat and shoot all the fighters down there, but we managed to fence them in up in the Micronesian.
Yeah, the Micronesian Hotel in Mighty. I'm trying to think of what's there now. There used to be a little restaurant in there, and there was somebody that I think they turned the front side of it into a plant nursery. Yeah,
tree.
But it's across from where the memorial is at that pump station on Route 8. And old timers like this guy here will remember back in the old days, before we had the international airport on that side of Tiedzin, the gate to get to the airport was on Route 8. You didn't go through Marine Corps Drive. When I was a kid, you'd leave out of a Quonset hut at NAS.
That's NAS and Primera. That's where the pilots and the what's called the assistant pilot over Primera Hotel.
Yep. Back in the day. Bro, I'm going to let you run. I appreciate the trip down memory lane. Have a good weekend, okay?
Okay, you too.
I will. That's nice. Kind of it was not a happy time. It was not a happy time. Me and my buddy, we were hanging out over at Gun Beach back in the day, and we were partying with some friends, and there was, hey, let's just sleep here, and we did. And I remember waking up, and there were voices over there. Just a couple of guys, and I didn't recognize any of the voices and the accents. And I thought, let's get out of here as quickly as possible. Sharky Online says, yeah, Manny Aquino and Ray Sanchez were shot in Hyundai Toto when they pulled the vehicle over. And that was a major punctuator in the action.
Full auto Thompson 45, Ray.
Is that what they were running
the one
around
with the drum mag, like the gangster gun?
Yep.
That one.
There was everybody loaded for bear. If these guys, if the cops were able to get their hands on them and another one of those pullovers, the cops were going home that night, that's for sure. 9:59 in the morning. Adventurous time. See if you can see what you can Google about that. See what the record is, because that was a very interesting time. And one of them is trying to get out of jail. I know one of the victims that says not only no, but hell no, keep that guy and let him rot in jail. Oh, I was young, I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah, murder's murder, buddy. 10 o'clock in the morning. The radio station KUSG, I got you. No Frowny Face Friday is concluded. We're going to make way for Fox News Live. So much going on this weekend, and all of the Mess Tomorrow activities down in Umatic. If you get a chance on the way home, swing by Leo Palace and check out the new Okibi restaurant. It's street food all over the menu, and flavors that you're going to fall in love with and want to go back again and again and again. All right, time to break away. For Real Joe, Donna D, Jerry Roberts, and Charlie Hermosa, this is Ray Gibson saying have a great weekend.
More than 6 hours of questions. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. That's how long former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was before the House Oversight Committee.